God damn, it is hot in here. I'm
Less.
sweating out my
It
legs.
is hot. Well, it's getting hot in here for the start of episode 7, West Coast Highlife.
I'm sweating out my sweat balls.
We're all sweating up right now, getting the beers cracked. Getting
You
ourselves
know it's
dialed
hot
in.
when I'm sweating out my legs.
Yeah, those trunks are just leaking everywhere.
Sweat holes are pouring.
Tends to happen a lot at Darcy's place.
Yeah, I know. I'm the cheap guy who doesn't turn his heat off. Even in the
we're at his
summertime 'cause
we're at
it's
his
free.
place. It's like one of the hottest days of the year, and he's like debating whether or not to turn off his heater for a bit because it's so sweltering hot in there that we're sweating out of our
Free
legs.
heat and hot water. You got to utilize.
And he
right?
won't do it.
Well, yeah, that's
He won't
what
turn
happens
off
when
the
you're
heat.
cheap. I'm just cheap. But no, straight up to start this off, we're gonna introduce ourselves. My name is Darcy Douglas. To my left is,
Mark Hovey.
and to his left,
Alexander Klein.
and to his left.
It's me, Ben Fudge. Real Ben Fudge on Twitter.
That's right. So
The
check
real
us all
Ben
out
Fudge.
online. We've got the West Coast Highlife page up on Facebook. We got a YouTube account for y'all to check out.
We're still too cheap to buy server space.
We can't afford a server, but you're gonna hear us somehow anyways.
But you can help with our new fundraiser.
yeah,
that's right.
We got to get
Donate.
a Kickstarter going.
PayPal account's gonna
Absolutely.
get started pretty soon.
just
You guys
started.
can donate to the PayPal
Infuse us with money so that we can buy beers and do this podcast for y'all.
because it gets better the further we get inebriated. So
No, but that's it would be good to have the money for the server because of the iTunes, and that's how I listen to a lot of podcasts on my way up to school or back. I have all these podcasts loaded up. I listen to them in the car on the way up and on the way back down, and it helps fill the void in my life. So one day people will be able to listen to our podcast.
So you can
in
be
that
saying
way.
you can fill your hollow tip by listening to the West Coast Highlife.
Sure.
All right, I like that.
And you can help us.
You can pay our PayPal.
You can help
account
us
that we're gonna
by
set up.
emailing us your Visa card number.
Give us your credit card.
Let's be honest here. We're not
SIN
going to get
number.
anything set up anytime soon.
Well, within the next year would be a likely timeline.
Have you even invited any of your friends
I
to
have,
like
yes,
the
I have,
page?
I
Because
have.
we're only at like what?
I think I've
what are
only
we at
invited
now?
like 2
We
or
got
3
like
friends.
30
though.
something likes.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
up there in plays though. You know we've
I
had
can only release
It's how many
the-
subscribers
the
you have.
cast
That's
to-
what-
our
that's what's
combined
important.
plays is not
comfortable
bad.
listening.
our combined plays is like
Of
what,
all 6
around
episodes, you
400?
mean?
Yeah.
Of all 6 episodes or whatever?
Yeah.
7 or 8.
There's 6 up so far. No,
There's 6 and then the left coast
There's
one.
the bonus episode too of the one that we can't really call an official podcast from the Feast of Albus.
The first one?
That's
Right.
hidden online
Right.
somewhere. I don't even know where that is
It's
anymore.
buried beneath the digital realm somewhere.
For the better of us
Probably.
all.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna get started off with a couple of things that One Fudge has been polishing. So I'm gonna let him take the lead on this one.
Well, I've really been polishing a lot, but I've been dumping a lot of videos and links and stuff into our Facebook page. Follow or like us on Facebook,
Get in there and give us some likes.
or go
That's
get
West
some
Coast
aids.
Highlife,
like to be
Facebook.
liked.
We can't be liked enough.
Yes. We want to build up our web presence. So
And
We have
if
to
you've
keep
already
promoting
liked us on
ourselves.
Facebook, make another Facebook account and like us
like
again.
Yeah, it only takes you 5
Absolutely.
minutes to go set up another
Absolutely.
fake account.
Tell
you don't even
your
need a picture. You just gotta say
friends.
like and click, and then we're good.
Yeah. So I thought I'd talk about some of the videos I posted on our page, which you can check out. They're on our
Ooh.
YouTube
West
page.
Coast
too.
Highlife.com.
What's the link? How do they find our page online right now?
You just type in West Coast Highlife on YouTube, and it'll
Nice.
take you right to our page.
We're like the only ones.
I believe
using
there's
that
a
name.
West Coast is one
a
word.
little bit of our logo, the West
So is
Coast
Highlife.
Highlife,
West Coast is
So
one
is
word,
Highlife.
and there's a big
and
it's like a
Highlife is
beach
also
scene.
another
There's a
word.
piece of wood or something, right?
Yeah, it's beachy.
It's beachy. It's very beachy. Okay. So it was Garbage Day.
It's
the first
shit.
one we had linked up, right?
Yeah, Garbage Day was great because it's just a clip of this movie, I guess, called Garbage Day. And it's a guy taking out his garbage, and some guy rolls up on him across the street and says, "Hey, it's Garbage Day." Shoots him right in the fucking chest.
Is it?
And then laughs like a maniac.
Yeah, he's kind of
he
maniacal.
does. He looks pretty fucking sinister.
It reminds me of a 90s bad horror, a 90s horror movie.
Reminded
Like
me of a
made for
Toxic
TV
Avenger
horror.
type thing.
So
Yeah.
was the guy like a rights activist, and he wanted to like preserve?
I have
the
no
forests
idea, and
stop
that's what makes the
dumping,
clip
or-
so good. Is
We've-
if you have no background, you can
Yeah.
watch it over and over again,
You
and it
can,
stays
it
stays
doesn't
fresh.
really
We don't
I
even know
guess,
where
eh?
it's from. We don't
Garbage
know who
Day is
posted it or
eternal.
anything.
Is Garbage Day like actually a film that was made, or is it just like some random fucking snippet from something? that we
Considering the
have no
time
idea?
frame,
It's
I would
from a
absolutely
film.
say it was a film being made.
It's weird
Yeah.
because my cousin commented on it and he was like, "We use this like clip for like noobs or something." So I think the gamer
What in
community.
Trinidad? Like that
No,
still
no,
happens? They, like, shoot
he's
folks
in-
down there
he's in
for not putting their
Toronto.
garbage in the bins, or
He's in Toronto, but
where they don't like taking out garbage even
Yeah.
more.
it's a gamer thing. I think
Oh.
it's like because it's the guy gets shot without even like putting up any defense, pretty much.
Oh, so it's like if you're getting spawn killed.
So you need
Yeah,
to block with the garbage can and
you
to
got
block
garbage
the bullets.
day probably.
What I thought was
don't
interesting was
know.
that the garbage can looked like it gets shot. Like
I
he's
noticed
holding
on
the garbage
Counter-Strike,
can
garbage
in front
can
of
isn't
him,
an
and
option
yet
you
the
can
bullet
choose.
hits the guy. I don't really understand that.
Yeah, it's weird because you don't know if he got shot from the front or the back.
Well, that could make a pretty
It
good
has to be
shield.
the
though.
front,
If
I
you
think.
cut a garbage can in two and you put like a handle on it, you got like a bulletproof shield. That
All right,
probably-
Captain America, why don't you go face down a firing squad with some fucking garbage can
We'll
shields?
give you some garbage cans.
Yeah, it's like a water fight where you
It'd
use
be
the
like-
lids
it'd
as
be like turtle
shields.
shell, but not quite as strong.
All right. Well, the next
Mythbusters.
video I posted is a video by Henry Phillips, a comedian, and he's favorited my tweets before, so that's the important thing. And it's called Never Ever, and it's like a take on an old kind of 50s song about a girl who's frustrated with the guy she was seeing, and she's never gonna fuck him again. And the girl in the video actually follows me on Twitter as
It's
well.
a duet.
So I'm
It's a
important.
duet.
It is a duet. Yeah.
It's a duet. It's the guy and the girl.
Yeah, it's Henry Phillips and Melissa McQueen. Or no, Melissa McQueen's in the video. I think Valerie something or other is doing the vocals on that. But
The best part, man, is definitely when you see the guy open up his wallet and he's got no money in
Yeah.
there, and she just gives him the hugest stink eye, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, what do you do?" I mean, have you guys ever been in that scenario where you're like out on a date and you realize you have no money, or like your credit card has been denied
no,
2
man,
times?
I
and, like,
always know how much money I have before I even ask someone on a date. Because I mean, like, I've been in situations like at the grocery store where I've come up like short on my credit card, and like that shit is mortifying on its own. But like, without having a girl that you're interested in the equation in a very public setting. Yeah, no.
I think the best
You
like
already got the whole store staring at you.
the best scenario I've seen in like a film happening is when Dave Chappelle in Half Baked goes out and he's got like got to take Mary Jane on
Yeah.
a date, and he's got like $8 and
He
he's like,
steals
"Shit,
money
man,
from
what
the
am I gonna
bum."
do for $8? He's like, let's go for a walk, and he walks and he like goes and gets an ice cream, and then there's like some hobo on the street and he like drops in his bill but takes out more money back or whatever. It's so class.
It was the
like,
cab ride that I think that bankrupted him.
Yeah,
She got her
yeah.
feet were all tired because
Yeah.
he was like walking everywhere with her to
yeah.
save money.
I like the cab part because he's like, all right, man, here you go. And the guy's like, 20 cents, you should be kissing my ass.
Yeah.
what's the like most I don't want to call it ghetto, but like low income date you've ever had to deal?
Oh.
Like when you've been, it's just like hard times, and you've been like, yeah, let's go to the beach, and we don't have any money to drink.
Let's
but
hang
we
out
can-
and watch one of these movies that I may or may not have pirated off the internet.
Oh, yeah, that for sure. Usually if I like need a cheap date, yeah, it's like nice day, go to the beach and like maybe bring like something to like snack on or something like
you brought
that.
some like crackers and some old cheddar that had been hanging out. In the
Yeah, I
fridge
hope
for
you
a
like
couple
stone wheat
weeks.
thins, honey.
There's no mold, girl. It's good.
Well, that's why you can always pull out the like going Dutch thing, and I mean that's like an old school word too, but it's got this good connotation to it because then the girl feels like she's got her own sense of freedom.
Wait a minute. What's going Dutch mean? I'm
That's
not-
how you've rationalized it. Like I'm giving them a sense of freedom by paying for half.
Oh,
the
yeah,
shit.
it's like-
going Dutch. You mean by like
Both
splitting
people
the cost
pay.
of something?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
she pays for her own movie ticket and you pay for
for
your
the dinner
own or
something,
whatever,
right? Like I
Or-
do that sometimes. I'll pay for dinner, and she pays for the movie.
Depends on who
Yeah,
asks who
that's
out.
another form of going Dutch. I think.
I guess that's true.
You're
But what
splitting-
if you've
splitting
been
it up?
seeing each other for quite a long time already? And
Well,
it's
then I
not
think
like-
that's when you kind of
that's when it gets past the
get
point
to
of,
like step
one,
back and like,
Yeah.
all right, like we're in this together.
We're in it together financially and figuratively.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know.
That or you're fucking on your own.
Well, you gotta make concessions if you wanna do what you gotta do. What about the this Russian?
Well, how
woman
about the
Barbie?
opposite? The most expensive date you've been on?
Oh God, the most expensive date, eh?
I think like $250.
Yeah, I was gonna say around there. Nice wine, nice
dinner
dinner.
and drinks.
Yeah. But did you get laid after it?
Fuck yeah.
Yes. Okay. I remember.
Bitch!
Okay, how
You
about
better
most
fucking
expensive date that you
believe.
didn't get laid on
It
after?
was probably a good $150, and all I got was this T-shirt.
You didn't even get an HJ? You didn't even get an
You
HJ.
didn't get an under the table
oh yeah,
HJ?
okay, I got an HJ, but it was like a half-assed HJ, and I was
The
just like,
HJs are the worst
I was
because it's
like,
like, honey.
bitch, I bought you scallops. You know?
They have their
It's like-
time and their place.
Yeah, you're like, honey, you got a lot of heart, but you don't
Yeah.
know what you're doing here.
Yeah, it sucks when you know you could do a better job yourself, and you can't really break that to them. But I mean, they should know that.
Yeah, all the expensive
That you
dates
can
I've
do a
taken
better
girls
job.
on have been with like my like girlfriends, where it's been like like a like an anniversary or like an event or something like that.
A big.
Why is it
A
that
big
women
to-do.
put so much more? They have such a more vested interest in like the occasions, you know, the anniversary or the Valentine's Day or like.
Because that's what they're.
We need a woman here
raised
to answer that. I think that's the problem.
Just
appreciate,
they're
right?
a culture to be
Yeah.
to have more
It's just
significance.
a societal
I think it's totally a cultural
expectation for
thing.
them, right?
Yeah, I've always found
Like,
it kind of
and that goes perfectly with
I mean-
this whole service online right now, where you can just be some chick who's assumingly good looking, and you can
Oh, Miss Travel.
Miss Travel it's called. This shit's insane. You're basically gonna escort a guy with money
Yeah, it's
while
an
he
escort
flies around
service.
the world.
How is it
So-
any different from like the
It's
concept
brilliant.
of a concubine? Really?
I think it's
not,
fucking
not any
brilliant.
different than the
Concubine, right?
concept of a
It-
prostitute.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
almost
similar.
borderline
it's very similar,
prostitution.
but it's like this socially acceptable.
It's a
Like,
win-win.
it's done with like a cute like cartoon.
But you know what? There's a lot of stuff
It's
like
a
that. And
win-win.
There's like escort
Commercial.
services that don't build themselves as escort services.
Yeah.
They're like it's like mature friends networks kind of thing.
Adult friend
And
finder.
I've heard about I've heard yeah, it's sort of like adult friend finder, but I've heard about this where
That's
um
I'm pretty sure that's different.
there's someone who I know I'm not gonna release his name, but this guy who I've heard of through a friend, he runs a company that is essentially pairing older businessmen into professionals with young, attractive women in a scenario where it's like it's billed as a friendship kind of thing, like go on a date or
In
like-
North America here?
In North America, yeah.
Oh, I was going to
Across
say, does
cities
his
and-
last name rhyme with Bib?
No, but it's country. It's like across Canada and major cities in Canada
Inside
and
joke.
a few places in the States now. And it's run as a total like friendship dating service, right? Where you pay a
Good
nominal
people, good
fee,
times.
Where credentialed
Yeah,
gentlemen
like
pay a nominal
eHarmony or
fee.
something like that.
Yeah, similar, except
Harmless.
the women are prostitutes.
Oh.
In essence, right? It's not billed as they're being prostitutes. It's a
Right.
legal service. It's just an accompaniment.
Yeah,
but there's there's that
wherever
value added.
wherever it leads to,
part.
you don't
You know
know
what that
it's
is?
It's out of his hands.
A
at that
tax
point.
write-off.
Yeah, he just has
no,
people
it's like,
meet
it's
people.
like a legitimate dating service.
Now
But
you can
does
write
he-
off your whores.
that is run by a small business controlling the interests of like a small group of women who service the larger male clientele.
It's
yeah,
a billing
but because
service.
he has
It's
no
to hide.
like financial transactions, any of this, he's
It's to hide your bills from the
a
wife.
couple-
There is financial transaction, and
Yeah.
it's like a legit business. So like,
Yeah.
they say, oh, well, it's like a dating service, right? So it's escort kind of esque, but they don't. There's no discussion of sex happening, but it does.
You know,
It's just very like
where-
that's the under the table.
where that
part,
whole thing
right?
is flawed, though, is like, how are you going to hide the money? Like, how are you going to?
it's all face-to-face cash transactions, I would assume.
I know, but then how does he get anything out of it?
They get the money through the connection
because you
through
have
the
to
dating
pay
site,
to get on the site, right?
You have
so
to get connected with these women.
So he
you
charges
have to
them
use
an
this
absorbent
adult friend
amount.
finder
yeah,
or
he
whatever it's
charges the
called.
dudes
Yeah,
to get
the
on that
men
website
pay,
and get access to the
and- but
But then
databases
he
of
still has-
prostitutes.
Okay,
And the
then he
man
still
could
has to
say,
pay the
okay, so
women.
take this for example. The guy could pay $100,
Yeah.
and he'd have just like the woman for the night for dinner and a movie or whatever, right? Just
Right.
as like companion, someone to talk to. But if he was to pay the $500,
Yeah.
which would never actually be disclosed to
That's the overnight
CRA,
special.
etc.,
Oh.
that's where the real business happens.
Oh.
But it's under the table, right? So you don't know it above board. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But
in
that's how all
reality-
escort services work.
Yeah,
that's nothing new.
Yeah, well, there's a
you
you
can
saying
go
this
to
from
the
experience?
right?
phone book. You can go to the phone book and find hundreds of escort services, even in Victoria. None of them
There's
actually
not
are
100 escort
supposedly.
in Victoria. No.
There's definitely 100 escorts.
There's
probably
probably
100
at
women
least
here who
100
do it, though.
escorts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. You can go to the phone book, look up, charge an escort, and they're not obligated to have sex with you.
Yeah.
But if you work out
Oh,
a deal,
yeah.
you can have sex with them,
Yeah.
and obviously that doesn't show up in any interaction.
You know
It's
what
just
the
like a
next-
tip.
You
It's
know
like
what
a
the
tip.
next step would be is you like upload a photo, like you were saying your idea for
Porgal.
What was the
Porgal,
I
yeah.
haven't quite. That's a name pending. Porgal. Yeah, you upload a photo of
TM.
someone
Trademark.
that you
Mark
I don't know
copy.
have a
2012.
crush on.
Registered.
There's someone on Facebook that you have a crush on.
Yeah.
And so you take their profile picture and you upload it into this
Creepy.
website, and it shoots off like the most similar looking porn stars
Yeah. But
to
see,
this
you
to
could-
this woman,
You could take that the
Right.
next
or
step.
man, or any partner.
Right.
It doesn't
you
really
could take
matter
it the
either
next
way.
Step though, and then like it would go through a database of your whatever your.
Oh, you could find an escort
Your
that looked like that.
escorts, yeah, that
Absolutely,
look similar.
absolutely. Here in your area, here's 25 women that look
Yeah.
like this woman, and here are the prices.
It'd be funny if you just like you took
That's
like
brilliant.
you took a picture
That
of
is
like of a Barbie doll, and then it like they came up with the Ukrainian woman that
It
just
would.
like
The
changed
Russian
herself
Ukrainian-
into that.
Ukrainian woman.
She doesn't look awful. She looks plastic, but I mean, in
She
like
looks very
25, 30
plastic.
years from now, when she
Her
ages,
face looks pretty
whoa,
plastic.
God,
And if
she's
you
gonna
guys
look,
want to
she's
check
gonna
this
melt.
out, we have a link on our page. It's a link about this Ukrainian woman who's basically altered her body to mimic, what is it, Fudge?
Like Barbie.
Barbie
And
doll
yeah,
for
you
our
just
Barbie
go onto our
size.
YouTube
Yeah.
page, subscribe.
She's all over YouTube like right now. I've seen this Barbie doll girl.
It
Yeah.
look, like she looks so disproportionate. It's like her
Yeah.
tits are so huge, and it looks like she had 2 ribs removed or something.
No, her waist looks way too skinny.
Yeah.
It looks like she's got some sort of eating
Would
disorder.
you fuck her? Yes or no? Going
Yes.
around the
Of
circle.
course.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
does
Yes,
she have
exactly.
AIDS?
All of us would. What's that?
Does she have AIDS?
No. She's
No.
perfectly
Good to
no
go. All right.
STDs.
No STD.
However-
Hypothetical, would you?
Have you guys?
I think we're all
like,
around yes.
Did they make a doll about her too? Like, did
I
they,
thought she was a doll. I thought that was the whole story. Is a woman
like
that
those real
looked
dolls.
like one, and then they made a doll out of her.
there's a huge market for these like life-size dolls with like.
Oh yeah,
That
fake,
girl,
like a fleshlight.
That girl reverse engineered her
They ain't
look
cheap.
into a sex
Oh,
doll.
I know
They're
they're
not
thousands
cheap.
of
she
dollars,
did.
and, like,
She did.
do you know have they like are there any like animatronic ones? Like,
Oh
do
yeah,
they-
there are. There are really advanced sex dolls now that are
See,
basically
That is
Get your dick
baffling,
stuck
man.
in their
yeah,
cunt.
yeah. They're
Like
they're,
calling 911. My
they're
dick's stuck in my
robotic,
sex
but-
doll.
They're like high-end mannequins, right? They're
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
super mannequins. Where you can take an actual like even when I was when I worked with that guy John Hahn back with
the ladies' man.
the ladies man as we call him
the computer smasher.
Casanova course.
It's funny because he was the ladies' man, but he was like the
lady-
least
yeah, this is the
attractive
ladies man.
ladies' man
greasy.
every.
In his day,
person could
he
think
got
of.
the chicks. That was the thing. But it was like 10 years after his day had passed, and he was like,
A greasy Hungarian man.
yeah, yeah. And he so I'm like vice president of his company at like 18 or something, and I'm just basically doing his website. That's what
Sound
made me
business
vice
Did you
choice.
get
president.
to go to a porn convention over
Yeah,
there?
no, it was the everything to do with sex show.
Yeah, that was in
And-
Vancouver or something.
Yeah, and like I had lost my virginity like a couple of years before, so like I was just like,
You're a noob.
oh, totally noob, overwhelmed. Like there's like sex swing shows and all this stuff, and we set up our booth right next to the biggest like store in Ontario, sex store from Ontario ever, and we've got nothing. Our car gets broken into the night before, our laptop gets stolen, our VCR, everything gets stolen.
You guys had
TV.
the VHS tape rolling.
Yeah,
there
we
for
were
the
gonna have a
display?
we still had the VHS tape. It was one thing that we took inside with us. So
They
we
still had
that.
VCR going though.
They
We
did. They did.
Yeah, we ended up getting a VCR.
The same things that Shredder
from
had. Some
Visual
of his friends'
cocaine
house.
residue.
Now,
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so we set up next to a porn star
It was
named
named D, right?
named D, yeah, DEE,
I
and
remember
A
that
female
'cause I
porn
looked up
star.
porn from her and
She's
jacked
there.
off to it.
yeah,
Same
she's,
here.
I had one of her tapes she signed. I just recently threw
Was it
down.
Now,
VHS?
is that spelled
It's
with
VHS.
2
Oh,
E's?
dude, you should have held on to that just for.
I
his
know
keepsake.
it would have been funny if I brought it tonight. I didn't even know I was going to be telling this story though. But yeah,
Yeah.
even back in the day, that she had her vagina modeled, so you could
Yeah.
buy her fake plastic
It was like
vagina
b-
based
It's
on
like
her
her
vagina.
flashlight, basically.
Yeah, it was like the predecessor to a flashlight.
Yeah. Did you fuck it or did you actually like?
No,
You never sampled the goods.
That's
I never
funny.
sampled the
Modeled
goods.
vagina. Although I'm sure they have that for. You could
Did
probably
she,
buy like
did
Ron
she,
Jeremy's
whip out her
dick too.
pussy and like you could see like the comparison compares you there Milk and Arrow kind of thing.
no, but it was like on the box. Like it was like a big, picture on it of it
Right. Okay.
in the back, and there was a couple other chicks there too that were porn stars that
But,
had their
like, are
pussies
porn
Did it say
stars-
not sold in
like
stores?
promiscuous by nature, like they're just like nymphs, so they just like want to fuck all the time, or like,
I
or is it
think
like
porn
just like,
stars-
I gotta go to
Some.
work and fuck? You
No,
know?
Some.
I think
Definitely
porn
part of
stars
it.
fall into like maybe 2 main groups. One is like they're definitely like have an insatiable thirst for sex and attention and affection. And then I think you have like the women that are like really damaged and have had like abuse happen earlier in their lives, and like that's just like what they identify like positive attention with is sex. And like they kind of fall into that industry because it
Yeah.
plays into their
Yeah.
psychosis or
A
whatever.
little bit of social psychology here on the WestCoast Highlife.
I watch a lot of porn.
Daddy issues. We all have. We're all porn experts here.
Yeah, I mean, we can. all
we
flex
are
out.
that generation though.
Pornhub.
That
Yeah,
that
man.
had-
Within
Big ass
30
spank
seconds,
wire.
I can look at a girl fucking. I'm like, yeah, damaged goods.
how
I know why you're in this biz.
how many generations before us had access to infinite free porn? Not very many.
None.
Dude.
We are the
Depends on
first.
who your dad
like,
was.
From when we were like,
We
what,
are literally the
13 years old,
first.
and we had to wait on a
Yeah.
28K modem like an hour to get like
Yeah,
a
a
2-minute
picture.
video.
Yeah, so
or
it must
like
be
even
up.
a picture,
A quick
exactly,
time
right,
video.
You know?
We were the first ones though that could, they could get that shit.
We
easily.
are
And then,
pioneers of porn.
And then
Yeah.
what was it? What was
Well,
I
it?
mean,
not
the original
pioneers of
soundtrack to
internet
porno
porn.
pictures was.
Porn consumption.
your 28K modem grinding away
I totally
while you
just-
see
I
a bit
want
of
a
nip.
sample of
I
that.
remember being at the Bennett's and we were
old
trying to
modem,
download stuff, and I was like, oh shit, we got 14.4. We need some 33.6 on here. Because it was going so slow, we like left the room, made a sandwich, came back, and the picture like almost loaded, and then the chick was wearing a bikini. Very
Oh,
disappointing.
you're
worst
like, "Oh."
ever.
Yeah.
You wait so long. You're like, no,
Not
damn.
even naked.
Yeah, totally.
Next.
Next was this
Yeah.
really
That'd be next
short,
picture.
really funny video about how to add milk to your coffee that everyone should check out. I don't really think there's really much to need to describe it, because if we do, then
Well, it's a how to do things channel on YouTube. It's
It
called
just-
How to Basic.
It
and
just
it's like
totally
basic
reminds me of
instructions.
like a night after like I've done way too many drugs and drank way too much booze, and I'm trying to make like my craft dinner the next day at like 5 p.m. when I've struggled out of fucking bed, and I'm just like in a chair because I can't stand while I'm making my food, and I'm just like trying to stir the horrible
You're like
KD.
stirring it with a rolling pin. You're
Yeah.
like, what do I?
I'm just like, okay.
Why do
my
I have
hands aren't
this?
working? The corresponding muscle reactions are not entwined right now. So let's just move on.
the only times I was like when I was like doing, I guess, like drugs fairly often. The saving grace for me is I would be like going home at like 5 a.m. and be like, well, at least Saved by the Bell's on TBS in 45 minutes.
Sweet.
What's the gang gonna get up to this week?
Oh, it's an anti-drug
Cool, dude.
episode. The irony.
Then you feel extra guilty because you've gone way harder than Jessie, and she's taken it way harder than you ever did.
How
She just singing, I'm so excited. And she's breaking.
Uncle Jesse.
No, Jessie from Saved by the Bell, Jessie Spano.
Oh shit.
That's when she got addicted to the caffeine pills to stay up and get her marks where they needed to be. So
Mama?
she'd go to like Berkeley or Stanford.
Did it work for her?
I think so.
No.
Because it worked
She
for
got
me when I
addicted,
had to
didn't
cram
she?
for economics.
I don't know. Did she end up?
She
at
got addicted and she didn't show up
No,
to
no,
her
no.
test
The
or
school
something
worked out
like
for
that?
Jessie. I'm just not sure if she ended up at Idiot U with the rest of the other cast at the college years.
Didn't she show up on that stripper movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did
What was
striptease.
That was
right?
that was the end of her career.
Right.
Yeah, it was the beginning and end of
It was
her
the
movie
beginning and
career.
end of her career.
All
And
in
you know
one.
what? You know what's the crazy thing is Kim Kardashian recorded a video of herself getting fucked and made millions off of it because
Same
her
with
career
Paris Hilton.
exploded.
I've never seen that
Really?
video.
There's a
Really?
Kardashian
You haven't
porn
seen
movie?
that
I
porno
didn't know
video?
there was one.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That
Like,
explains why she's famous all of a
Well,
sudden.
I
That's
mean,
like what you gotta
like
do.
Paris
Yeah,
Hilton did
I've
the
seen
same
your
thing.
pussy.
Like she knew that fucking stuff was gonna get
of
leaked.
course,
yeah.
it happened after Paris Hilton got famous off of hers.
Yeah. So Paris kind of led the way, and then
Pretty weird, eh?
Kardashian was like, oh.
Although
I could probably
Hilton,
get-
You can have
Hilton had a
no-
little help from her
No
name.
discernible skill,
Yeah.
but just be some like socialite that's not ugly to look at, and then you make a porno tape, and then you all of a sudden you're touring. You're on David Letterman, you're on Leno, you're on Conan, you're on all the late night circuit. Talking
And people
about,
like Kim because it looks like she really knows how to suck some dick. If you watch that video, like that would be a good time.
full gobble.
Yeah, you can't really fault Ray J for filming that.
looks like she's hungry.
Speaking
didn't
of
feed
being
her for a
hungry,
week.
how about this Krispy Kreme video? You guys seen this shit yet?
No,
Krispy
nobody's
Kreme
seen it because it's
donuts.
only got like 20,000 views on
Oh,
YouTube.
well,
But
you're
it's more like
You're gonna
just
have to
this.
check it out on our site.
20,000. That's still way more views than we have combined.
Yeah, but you just got to
It's
record a shitty
about
rap song and a
20,000
shitty
more.
video to go along with it, and people will troll it.
I
Yeah, there
guess
you go.
so.
Troll our podcast. We need more
We
views.
have to release a rap song. Actually, I think we're gonna have to do like a WestCoast Highlife rap
We have
song.
actually Ben's got some raps like he's writing right
and
now. I think.
because we could probably
Yeah,
drop
no,
the stuff-
everything's still in like the formulation phase.
Yeah.
official opposition.
I was
I'm gonna work on another beat.
Yeah, I was gonna write a song about this
Egon's gonna
legendary
drop a new beat for us.
Yeah.
this legendary night that happened like probably 10 years ago where Darcy's dad got really choked because Alex and some buddies were shooting Roman candles at his house, and he threatened
It wasn't
threat-
actually Alex.
he
It wasn't
threatened to
actually
break our
me, but
buddy
yeah.
Duncan's arm with a garden hoe.
No, it was
That's so-
my two white friends who actually fired the Roman candles at the house,
Yeah.
and then they blamed the two dark friends of
Yeah,
mine.
me and
who
Simon.
came up later, and then my dad chased them away with a hoe.
Well,
That's
we-
how it pretty much worked.
That's yeah. And the one with Miller threatening to get his arm broken was like way later in life. That was like
Well, basically, the song's gonna be called Ronnie D Swagg. And getting your Ronnie D swag on is to like intimidate and scare teenagers and prevent them from fucking with your shit.
Actually, my dad he told me this. He
Yeah.
said because we had this like green space that was behind our house, and we were very close to a high school, and so a lot of the kids during lunch hours and stuff would come up and they'd smoke weed
Yeah.
there.
One,
And so
one
my
of them
dad
was
said
me.
he had this process. Ronnie D had a
I love
process with how he would deal with kids out there smoking weed. the first offense, he'd go out and he'd be like, "You guys should, you shouldn't be smoking around here. It's not good. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Okay." Same people would come back like an hour later or something, and he'd be like, "This is the fucking second time you've been here. Next time you're back, I'm calling the cops," or something like that. And then the third time he comes back, he's like, "I'm calling the cops unless you give me your fucking weed." Or something like that. So he'd totally oh,
That's the way to do
it,
it,
right? And so he'd end up with their weed under the threat of telling the principal / the police or whatever.
I love that strong arm technique.
It's great. It's
On
great.
little kids. They don't know better.
I appreciate that. That was a good way to
Get
do
a lot
it.
of free weed out of
That
it too.
spot though, that spot is legendary.
Oh man,
Because it's Bowker Creek. It's behind the high school. It cuts through
Oak Bay,
so
man.
much of Oak Bay.
I didn't
Toke
even go
Bay.
to Oak Bay, but I imagine myself having many a sessions in that park.
It
definitely.
initiates everything.
Or under the bridge, we'd go under the bridge and kneel under the bridge and smoke a doobie with the boys at lunch hour. It'd be so
Sometimes it
awesome.
wasn't even a doobie though. Sometimes it was just like, here's your first cigar or cigarette. Yeah, whatever. You're gonna get initiated back there and whatever.
Did you guys ever get busted by your parents with cigarettes or anything when you were kids?
Yes.
Hells yeah.
I didn't.
What was the virgin cigarette experience your parents found you with a cigarette or with a pack or something?
I got busted when I was like 8. And me and Tyson Maddie and Danny Hansen were sharing a cigarette butt behind the portables. Excuse me, not the portals. And us being 8, we think we're real sneaky. So the portables block off one, field of view, but my mom is standing at the front fence of Margaret Jenkins and sees the whole thing go down. And I get busted, and she was like,
sucks.
"I should make you smoke the whole pack."
Fuck, that's exactly the same with me.
But I didn't have to because I guess my mom didn't want me
I
to
just
get
ran
cancer
away.
at 8 years old.
And I smoked the whole pack in
Did she ask
Bike
you?
on Arvin Park or something.
Did she question you at all? Was she why were you smoking, or did you like it or anything like that?
No, she's just like, "I'm disappointed and mad at you."
Because you've never liked smoking cigarettes.
No, the first time I smoked a cigarette, I think I was maybe 7. And it was after a soccer practice. My dad was the coach. And he was phoning up my mom on a payphone. I think he had some problem with the car or he needed gas in the car or something like that. And he flipped his butt, and I took a couple of hoots or drags off it. And I was like, I don't get it because cigarettes taste like shit. And I don't get anything from it. So I just never really took on or got on.
It was
cigarettes.
my dad had ESP. He fucking, I swear, me and Brendan Wyatt, or not Brendan Wyatt, Brendan Wyatt B. We got Chris Johnson the Moose to go to Kwan's and buy us some smokes because we knew Kwan would sell to a couple of kids, a couple of the older looking.
Quans or YYs?
It was Kwan's.
Okay.
And so Kwan sells us a pack of smokes and me and B like, "Oh yeah, sweet man, whatever, we're gonna smoke these." We're about to walk out of my house and my dad's just out of nowhere, he's like, "Hey, Darce, what are you doing there? Where are you guys going?" And I'm like, "Oh no, we're just going to the baseball park or something, right?" And
He saw you with your creep on.
He must have seen you.
they were totally hidden, man. How the fuck?
He must have seen you
I
by
had
them
no
earlier
idea.
or something.
Creep.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's like,
He was in the
he's
bushes
like, "What do you got?
with
What do
his
you got
bat
in
with
there?"
his
And I'm like,
hoe.
"Nothing." And so he goes into my pocket, pulls out this pack of smokes that we've had maybe 2 of, and he's like, "Well, what are these?" And I'm
Goes in your pocket
I'm
just like Trick Daddy.
"Yeah."
What you got for me?
Well, I had
Give it
this
up, give it up.
this LL Bean open hoodie windbreaker thing, and he just reached in and grabs his pack of smokes, and he's like, "Well, what are these, Durst?" And I'm like, cigarettes? Fuck, man.
Yeah.
And
Alex,
he's like,
Ronnie heard his watch ticking.
he's like, "Why don't you smoke them all out on the deck right now?" And I'm like, "Cause I don't want to." Fuck. And then me and B just booked
Because
off.
you smoke them one at a time.
Smoked them all. We smoked them all that day. We're like, we gotta
You
get
did
rid of the
anyway.
evidence or whatever, right? So his whole reverse psychology of trying to get me to not want to
Fess
smoke
up.
because I was whatever.
Yeah.
Ended up not working, and we ended up rolling away. But that was definitely a rude smoke awakening. I don't think I smoked for 15 years after that, so it's kind of weird.
It's weird how much of society though still caters to smokers. We had this
What?
whole.
We don't
No,
cater.
yeah, I know there's a big
anymore.
anti-smoke
I would
thing.
totally disagree. with
almost
that.
over
You
now.
can't even
But-
smoke in some public parks.
But
or
no, but
beaches. No
Not
beaches.
Canadian society
No,
anymore.
Or
I'm
North
talking
Ameri-
about
or
even
West-
Up in my school, they were like, "Don't smoke 10 meters away from the school," but we've built this overhang that's between the 2 buildings. It's far enough away so you can, if you're a smoker, you can smoke undercover because they know people
This
are
is
going
at
to
your
do
high school?
This is at my
Whereabouts?
university right now.
University.
Yeah.
Oh.
At Camosun, the smoke pit's right in the main path.
Yeah, it used to be right there. I
But-
think they tell you not to
But what
smoke
about when
there
you were a
anymore.
kid? Was there a time when you were a kid when you ever like got busted with cigarettes or like
I was always an athlete as a kid, so
you were just
never
a jock?
I never cared about
You were
smoking.
Jacques Cousteau.
I
over
was
there.
an athlete.
athlete.
I didn't smoke anything. I didn't put anything bad into my body.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
How about Hovey? You got any virgin cigarette experience where the folks busted you up?
My parents were pretty good because my siblings kind of paved the way towards delinquency.
Oh, okay.
So they were
Where
pretty
are you
tolerant.
in terms of your siblings? Are you the youngest?
They're
or-
both 10 years older than me.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have a brother and a sister, both 10 years older. So they were fairly tolerant, and I know they knew that I smoked tons of dope. My dad hated cigarettes, but the one time they actually busted me was with mushrooms. I remember
really?
coming
How did
home.
you get busted with mushrooms?
I remember I
such a
forgot
weird-
them in my pocket, and like I had these shorts, and they had cargos, and I guess my mom was like searching through my room.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, I found this," and it was like lying
Classic
on the
mom
Yeah.
move.
How old
exactly.
were you at this point?
I was probably about 15,
Yeah. Okay.
16.
Man, moms are
With
nosy.
my bag, eighth of mushrooms or whatever, sitting in a baggie, like a brand new baggie, and they're like, "Explain this," and I was like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh yeah, I know. I made up some totally bullshit
found
story.
those
I
lies,
found those
though.
on the street
Like-
somewhere," and they're like, "Oh, well, I guess you better throw it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I better throw it out." So I went and threw it out in the garbage, and then like maybe 10 minutes
10 minutes
later, when
later,
they
picked
weren't
it up.
looking, watching TV, I like totally James Bonded back to the garbage, and like pretended to throw out an orange peel and take it
Oh,
out.
man.
The full mushroom exchange, and
Wow.
we did mushrooms the next day.
You're not stopping this psychedelic journey,
That's
Mo.
right.
Yeah.
right.
You
Right.
did, so wait, you did
Psilocybin.
you did mushrooms that you took out of the garbage
I took them out of the garbage
and ate them.
and ate them. They were in a Ziploc.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
fine.
Oh, nice.
That kind of reminds me of like I think I was probably 14 and it was grade 8 and Ollie Evans and myself had gone to a party at our
Whoa.
it was kind of like the kid who always had weed, and we were kind of like, well, how the fuck does this kid always have pot? Like he always had like huge bags of weed.
Maybe
And,
think twice about telling the story now that you've said the guy's first and
Yeah,
last name.
his name.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I'll edit it out. It's fine.
Bleep it out. Just bleep it out.
Yeah, I'll bleep it out. It's fine. We'll call him DC from now on. So DC
Bleep
had this
that out,
fucking massive amount of weed at his place.
Copious amounts.
And we're like in
Dope.
grade 8, and we, maybe we had a doobie here or there, but like we go to Doran's,
Yeah.
and he pulls out like 2-3 ounces.
I
of
remember
weed,
going to his
and
house
we're
and
just like, what the fuck?
you'd be
Did his
s-
dad
you'd be
deal?
walking around
They grew
in
up,
his
yeah.
house and you'd like lift your foot up and you'd have bud stuck to your socks. Like that's how much weed there was at
He
his
just
house.
didn't care.
That's
though.
awesome.
He just he was like, me and Ollie like, can we have a little bit of weed? And he's like, yeah, man. He gives us like an ounce, and we're like, holy fuck. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like
the weed
He was like
king.
making it rain with weed, right?
It was crazy.
And it
rained
Yeah, he's
over
just like
there.
making it rain with fucking
awesome.
bags of weed. And
We
so
had a
yeah,
friend
we're
like
having a
that,
few
yeah.
beers and like a couple joints. And we get back to Ollie's house by 11 or whatever our curfew was in grade 8. And we're in Ollie's room, and Ollie's gone up to use the bathroom or something, and I'm just sitting down on his couch in his room, and his mom just walks into the room just like out of nowhere. I don't know what her ESP was going off, her radar's
Yeah.
going off, and
These
I
kids
guess
are up to
she
no
goes
good.
into Ollie's laundry hamper where he'd like changed his pants or something, and she goes into starts going through his pants, and I know he's
Whoa.
got this bag of weed in there, and I'm like, oh
Oh.
fuck, and I'm in the room, right, and Kelly's like starting to frantically.
She
go
could
through
just
stuff.
tell that
And-
he was
and
ripped.
We must have just totally stunk of weed.
He's
And I-
upstairs
yeah,
like
oh,
doing
yeah.
weird ripped things.
Probably right, and so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta get the hell out of this bedroom. I'm like, oh shit, Kelly's here, and I'm like, but I book it upstairs. I'm like, oh dude, your mom just totally found the stash. Blah, blah. And it's
Oh.
like, oh fuck. And so I'm like, I'm in the bathroom trying to like frantically wash my hands off and like spray myself with like deodorant or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Come out
I go
smelling
back
like
downstairs,
potpourri.
and Kelly's like, Oliver, what is this? And she's like holding out the bag, and I'm like, what are we supposed to say? Like, it's
Looks like dope.
yeah, isn't that basil or something? No, I
Some
don't
are
think so.
bushy, some are tall.
I don't think so. We'll get our fans.
I know
to
for
double-check
sure.
that.
Yeah.
All those
Somebody
33 people
Twitter
who've
us
liked
the
us.
answer.
It has nothing
Twitter-
to do with
yeah,
their
you guys
growth.
need
It
to let
has-
us know.
It's
You
their
gotta post.
pollination.
What is the West Coast
Whether they
Highlife
get-
Twitter account? I don't even know what it is.
It's the,
WCHL or
WC
something?
_Highlife.
Maybe we should change
And we're
that.
not doing this live, so we can't really like look at the tweets.
Seems a bit
as
seems a bit
we
clunky.
do
That's
this.
okay. No.
But
That's
keep
fine.
sending
Well,
us your
Tweet at
comments.
us anyways. Give us comments on YouTube.
Let us know.
And,
We read
if
every
you
one.
don't like it, tell us and tell us why, and then go fuck
we
yourself.
need you to dethrunk, as I've used in past casts. Dethrunk the
Yeah,
theory.
dethrunking.
Can we dethrunk that?
We can dethrunk whether or not or debunk if we want to get legit.
Yes.
Whether or not
I think Jesse Ventura wants to work with you on some dethunkings.
dude, Jesse's all about the dethrunk.
I love Jesse
However,
Ventura.
is the male pot plant or the male hemp plant, does it grow up straight and long like a beanstalk, or does it spread out and have like a large radius? That's the question
Both
for y'all
do.
right there.
Hemp or hemp, or the female or the male both grow tall or bushy depending on the strain.
I believe
It's
you.
not the gender; it's the strain.
I don't. I'm gonna have to counterculture that right now. Hell's no.
Dethrunk.
They had no idea what they were in for.
I'm gonna have like the
You've
dethrunk
been
button.
dethrunk.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the segments for us is
Dethrunk?
dethrunk. Where we just defeat
Where we-
stupid
yeah,
ideas
yeah.
that we had before with accurate information.
I'm in for that. I'm definitely in for that. I like the dethrunk segments.
Einstein's theory of relativity. Detrunked.
You don't like the way I do my equations? Fuck you.
So one thing I think that would never work is a water slide with a loop-de-loop.
Actually, that exists, doesn't it?
Never work.
I just
Or
can't.
be the
I
most
thought it
fun you've
has
ever
worked.
had on a water slide.
I can't imagine my feet, my spine, my neck all going through a water slide in an enclosed fashion in a loop, like without hurting myself and
wait,
coming out
just
unscathed.
for our listeners to understand, this is like if you've ever seen the clown on the little bike, like you've seen Krusty the Clown in
a
this
loop-de-loop.
episode trying
Yeah.
to take the ramp or whatever that's got like the loop to loop in
complete
it.
loop.
Yeah, it's a loop.
This is like essentially a water slide with the same
loop-de-loop.
concept.
Yeah, at the end.
yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it was built.
This
and
was built in
that's-
New
The
Jersey,
physics
right?
are sound.
I don't know. I don't fucking.
I think it's all
Jersey?
about the people who wuss out at the end and try and slow down, and they
So there's
lose,
gotta be
they
like-
lose their they lose their force, and they
There's a
don't have enough
clause
force
in
to get
their-
all the
in
way
their,
around.
In their fucking legalities in their insurance that says you may
Oh.
not slow down or you're at your own risk.
Oh,
kind
I'm
of
sure
thing.
there's a clause when you buy a ticket just to get into the water
Well,
park.
this whole like theme park or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a water park in Jersey or something.
What was it called?
Where-
Does anybody know?
Jersey
I think
Jersey
it's
Shore
Adventure
Water. It's
Fun
called
Park.
Action Park.
And,
Was it
yeah,
Adventure-
Action Park.
Action
and
Park,
if it's
yeah.
any indication of
Action
the
Park.
quality of this park, there's been 6 fatalities in the 20 years it's
No,
operated.
no, but
so.
you know what? You have to. We
that
have
that
to
kind
cite
of
up.
draws me more, though.
I
to
want,
be honest,
I want. Can you
that-
please read us?
You
read
like
us-
drowning? Come on over.
Can you read us how
like-
the fatalities happened? If you have that up.
No,
still?
they
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. Half of these deaths were caused by drownings in the park's wave pool. The other fatal accidents were the result of a head injury on a luge, a heart attack induced by cold water, and exposed electrical wiring on a kayak
What do
ride.
you like? Throw
That's
your
my
baby into the
favorite
wave
one.
pool and you're like, why can't he swim?
The one at the
the
end, though.
exposed electrical wire.
Exposed electrical wiring on a
harsh.
kayak adventure or something. Like, how
yeah.
does that happen?
Well, the ride was called Toaster Alley, so what do you expect?
Well, the whole thing, the whole park itself just looks so ghetto. Like the engineer was obviously cracked out when he tried to engineer, if you can call
Yeah,
him
no,
that.
The engineer was some guy they imported from Switzerland, so
Yeah, on
you
a
know,
week-
like
a
hold,
week pass.
hold,
Came over
hold
for
your
a week,
remarks.
did a bunch of drugs and designed the park. And
That's
We're
went
talking
for
about
the
the same
loop.
country that designs Rolexes. Okay, this guy's gotta
It
have
was a
his water
Swiss
slide
fucking
game on
watch.
point.
Yeah.
yeah, they're just.
I'd still try that.
Wait a
I'd
minute.
still
no,
try
you
it.
said
It looks
Sweden,
like a lot
not
of fun.
Switzerland, right? Oh shit! Look
Looks
at
like a
that.
lot of fun.
Swiss fucking watch right there. Apparently,
Damn.
didn't quite
They know
transfer
how to
over
build
to
a
the
watch,
building
but-
of this park, but
but
you know.
don't leave them to build slides.
Yeah,
Or,
well,
What's the worst?
How
that
did it
could
last
happen?
2 decades? Is the question though. Like
That's insane.
that's fucking 20
No,
years
that-
of
That's
insanity.
the water park. The slide in question, Cannonball Run is what it was called. It was only open for 1 month in 1986 before it got shut down because too many people sustained head injuries and
See, that's what I'm
and
saying.
abrasions because they didn't. This water slide didn't end in a pool. It just had like a slip and slide. It was just a big mat. that
Yeah,
was
if
wet,
you guys
so
take
it
a
had,
look at
like,
that picture, that's
it
the
had
one.
like tons of sand and debris at the bottom of it. So when you slide out, you get the back, you get your back scraped to shit. In addition to your head injuries that you're sustaining going across this fucking
Terrible
death
idea.
trap.
Yeah, it's like
Fucking
it's like
terrible.
you do the loop de loop. It's like, you know, probably a 10-second ride, and then
did it.
I know. And then you fucking end up on like a piece of slip mat that's like a bunch of garbage bags with water on it, and you're like, oh sweet, what a great place
It
to
looks
finish
like
this.
it looks like a baseball field at the end. Like after you come out of the water slide, you slide into home plate, and it's like all muddy and shit.
It's like if I want to do a fucking slip and slide, I'll get like the Spider-Man version with like a pool at the end that I can crash into.
The
you
best
know?
water slides are the ones that are sweet, like almost more than 45-degree drops.
Yeah.
Like closer to 90, like 70 degrees, but you're on a fucking mat or you're on something, you're on a sled of some kind.
Some barrier between your flesh and the
and
slide.
then and you slide directly from the slide onto a pool surface or water surface, you know. And I've only done this once somewhere on the East Coast. I don't even know where I was, but it was a wicked time. Like I didn't get any scratches or cuts from the segments of the water slide. I didn't fucking.
Have you guys ever been to West Edmonton Mall?
Yeah, I've been
That's
there.
probably the like premier water park in Canada.
Is it now?
Yeah, well, it was when I lived there fucking 15 years ago. Maybe it isn't now.
The best slip and slide I was ever on was the one we hooked up at our place on Crestview where we plugged it into the hot water heater.
It was like
was
a
pretty intense.
triple long
That was pretty
hot water
intense.
slide.
Yeah, it was a
Remember
fucking
all those
awesome slip and
garbage
slide.
bags we heated up in the sun to like make it warm in the SpongeBob SquarePants pool?
Yeah.
Ending part. That was sweet.
That was like around the same era as you had the guitar smashed on your back, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude, I was hitting that.
We gotta
water-
find that
I was
video
hitting that
slash
slip
audio
and slide
sample
like a
and throw it on the
fucking
WC.
linebacker. I was going as hard as I could at that thing.
Was it Biggie hitting you with the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guitar?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was
know
mad.
it
Except he was too weak to break it on me in one go. He had
He's
to
probably trying to do it in a way that wouldn't hurt you, but ended up like hurting you more because he had to hit you more times.
No, it didn't hurt. I mean, it was just the flat part of the guitar, so it wasn't like there was an edge digging into me, as far as I can remember. So
I didn't know that we had guitars around to
surprisingly
sacrifice.
it's just
Yeah.
loud.
Acoustic guitars are fairly tough.
They are.
They usually don't
They're
break
not-
on the
they're
first
not made
hit.
out of balsa
They usually
wood.
don't make on the break on
No.
the first hit.
Yeah,
Unless you buy it in Mexico.
yeah, there you go.
Because, yeah, the musical instruments you purchase in Mexico will last you about... No, I'm not saying
10
all.
minutes.
But,
Yo.
like, the ones that you're getting sold as a turista,
These
those are going to
days-
last you, like, 2 months.
These
And
days,
then they're done.
you could 3D print a guitar.
Everything I brought back with me from Mexico, except the wooden Jaguar head, is broken.
Wooden Jaguar head.
Yeah, it was a carved Jaguar head.
Can you smoke weed from it?
No,
Can you put your weed in
That
it?
is a sweet
I can't
Jaguar
put
head.
anything in it. It looks cool, but you can't do anything with
Yeah.
it.
No, it's a good conversation piece though.
But you're right. You could like print out something like that on
Yeah,
a 3D
you could
printer.
3D print the
Those are
Jaguar
pretty
head.
sick.
You could scan it in eventually to a computer and 3D.
I think those are going
That's
to
true.
And
those are
print
gonna
it out on
revolutionize
paper.
like
what?
And then print it out on paper.
What was the 3D
like-
printer you saw on Kickstarter, Alex? That people, the guy was marketing towards like home use.
Yeah, like I guess they used to cost like $3,000 or something for like your basic 3D printer. You put in cartridges of like plastic, sort of like a wax cartridge, and then it goes along and you load your computer up with the design, and it prints the design. But it's small and cumbersome, and it can only I think print in 1 or 2 colors, and you have to put the thing together yourself. So you have to be like a master's degree student, or an engineer to even put the 3D printer together. And this guy on Kickstarter had come up with a printer for $600 that was very easy to assemble, and everybody could have one in their own home. So I forget what the website is, but there's an open design website online where you can download different designs of pretty much anything. And I had a
So what would you print?
any small like piece of shit thing that you would go and pay like
Like what?
$3 for at a dollar store.
Let's take a second and just explain what 3D printing is to people who don't know what we're talking
I'm
about.
pretty sure our
Google it.
audience knows what it is.
Google
I
it.
hope that that they do. The concept
Pause
of
this.
it.
Pause the
to summarize
podcast right
it,
now.
3D
Google 3D printing.
is
Get back.
taking a substance like plastic, and a 3D printer
Yeah.
will take this design and create objects for you. So if you were a
In how many
kid
dimensions?
and you three dimensions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like if you were a
Trays,
kid
dimensions.
and you're like, I want some Lego, and you had this
Right.
3D printer, you could build your own Lego and assemble your own things.
Yeah.
And,
Or
there's-
you're missing
or
one
Minecraft host.
You're missing one Lego piece to complete the whole thing, and you lost it. So you go to your 3D printer and you're like, I need the one with the 2 squares, and you download the design or whatever. You design
it's
it up
paper,
in Google
right? Like,
SketchUp.
so
no, it's
how-
plastic.
No,
it's
hard
plastic.
plastic.
It prints plastic?
Yeah, what it does
dude,
is
it's
it-
ABC
Or paper.
It's
Or paper. okay.
ABS plastic.
So like the where it prints is it keeps plastic at the melting point, and then when it puts
Yeah.
it down and lays out the design, it solidifies into a plastic shape, like the
Exactly what
Invisalign
Lego's
braces
made out of.
where
It's
you got behind
exactly
you.
what Lego is already made out of.
Oh wow.
It's that
okay.
type of plastic.
So like we're getting this off a Wired article, and they've done things that are talking about building like jewelry and prosthetic limbs and like braces.
Pill dispenser, like gears, anything.
Well, I think that like for stuff like doing concept models and things like that, like
it's
for
like the most practical
designing
thing you can
designing
think
a
of.
venue or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
You use
absolutely.
Google SketchUp, you completely do a 3D
Yeah,
rendering,
and then
you print the
conceptualize
entire
it.
fucking thing, which
Definitely.
is super cool. Like,
but also
that's-
like little like kids' toys, like little plastic army men and stuff like that. Easily done. Figurines. Yeah, look at that. That's a whole house. Of,
yeah, I mean. That's pretty incredible. The fact that you can
So you
print
could go to
out
an
a
architecture
scale
firm,
model of whatever you want to
be
design.
like,
now.
oh, this is my plan for my dream house. Like, I want to see it conceptualized in 3D. And is that a symbol?
Future
Is that a sign?
shit.
What does that mean?
That's how he's get moving, boys.
Oh, okay. No, 3D printing is the future because here's the third industrial revolution for you right here is 3D printing. Now manufacturing.
That's funny though. You might be right because
It is.
the printing press was a huge part of the Renaissance. So hey, maybe you might be right.
Yeah, and now instead of ordering every like little tiny thing we need from China, you can print it
just
in
print
your
it
own
at
house.
home
If
on a
everybody
3D
has
printer.
one, like we have a microwave, right? Like
Could I print a blow up 3D doll?
No,
No.
unless it was 3 inches large.
see, that's the
So
constraints of
but I
how
could make
if
like
it was
a
3
fake
inches,
badge.
it depends
If you
on
had the right
Yeah.
material, if you had the plastic that it was made of, you
So if I
theoretically
could make like
yeah,
my
like
own
a
fleshlight,
foamy kind of
Kinda. Sure.
plastic. If you had a foamier
and then you just
plastic
gotta
you load it
add
with.
some extra, like lubey kind of.
The machines are like
Well,
as
what you would do is you download the schematic for a fleshlight, you'd put the right
Yeah.
substance in, and the machine would make it
we could
for
use
you right there
we
and
could use
then.
Dee's pussy as an example. Like we could just print out her pussy.
you could print pussies with this
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
in the
You
future.
could print out any object and create it out of
dildos,
plastic.
pussies, anything.
Dude.
You can make objects. Fuck.
The sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, it is.
As long as it's not very big.
Well, that's
Right.
the thing. You're limited by the size of your 3D printer. So if you have one the size of a garage, you could build a fucking car
Well,
size
what's
model.
this? What's like
they
a
do have
standard
that.
size
They're
printer
laser
now?
printers and water.
I'm not sure what the standard
Water
is. I think
cannons
they're
that-
still so new that there isn't any industry standard that you can say like this is a home 3D printer, this
Right.
is an industrial model.
It's just
It's still in its
There is.
infancy.
There is.
The
really.
Like
biggest-
you can make like tire rims and like car parts.
Yeah.
You can make
out of
anything
3D
out of
printers.
The largest
it doesn't
scale
have
ones
to be
will
plastic.
be able to build houses. Like when they get really really big, they'll just build a house, and you won't need people. And the thing will just go around the perimeter of the house, laying it down, like foot by foot.
At that
build
point, it'll
walls.
probably be
I
able to
can't see
change
that because it would all
substances
have to
it
be out of
builds
the
with.
I
same
bet you the
material.
inventor of that 3D printer has a fucking shitload of clout,
Probably.
like
Maybe.
followers, right? Because people all want to know
What's
about
its
that.
clout
now.
rating?
Yeah, what's his clout rating?
8.5.
92.
Whose rating is 92?
The guy who made the 3D
Clout
printer.
rating.
If your clout rating is 92, you're getting a lot of free shit. I read an article on Wired that was all about your clout rating and how it relates to what kind of free shit you can get.
Yeah.
If you don't know what clout is, it's this online service that pretty much collects your activity on Facebook and Twitter, your blogs, your YouTube, and it adds it up into what it calls an online presence.
Yo, I feel kind of guilty because I got free shit from Klout, and I never actually.
Yeah, what did you get?
I have like a Klout score, I guess. So it's in the low 40s, and
Answer the question.
so
what
what
did
did
you
you
get?
I got whatever you could get at the low
I thought
40s.
you
I
said
just wanted to
was
see
like
if it worked.
Clearasil pads
Okay.
or something? Is that right?
It was it's shower gel. Clearasil is making a new
Oh,
line of
shower
shower
So
gel.
you
gel.
mean out of
But
your
check
out
this
of your
out, dude.
cookies and your
Was it-
cash on the internet, it decided you were dirty and needed to clean yourself off?
I
Is
got
that
3 bottles of this shit, like big bottles.
Did you rub
a
it in your
box.
pubes?
It's fucking heavy. I use it every morning in the shower. But here's the thing, dude. I was supposed to tweet to the company or
That you
tweet
loved it?
that I received it and whatever, and I lost the
Hashtag
thing. So
awesome
I
wash.
lost the hashtag thing, so I can't even do it. So they don't even know if I
How
received
did you
it or
lose the
not.
hashtag?
I don't know. It came in a slip on a piece of paper. It was like,
Oh, you had the
we noticed
hashtag
you
in
have
there
a
or
lot
something.
of clout and blah 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 blah. Here's Clearasil. Please tweet this, and so other people know about it. And I use it, but I didn't tweet it.
Some
so I
people
feel kinda
think I eat
guilty
too
about
many
How
that.
did you
chocolate
get
bars
so
and that
much
I don't
clout?
wash my face.
I have a large internet following, I guess. I don't know.
You got to tweet a lot. You got to.
You must be on chat roulette a
You have
lot.
to have like a continual. You have to continually update your presence. So if you're like a food blogger, you got to be taking pictures.
I
of food,
troll
eating,
chat
eating
roulette
food
late
outside
at
of
But
night.
it's
restaurants.
not so much how much you. I imagine it's not how much you upload, but
Yeah,
how
it
much
is.
people actually
It's,
watch
it's
you.
directly like how much people respond to you.
Yeah,
is
like,
directly related
how
to
ma-
how
how
much
many-
content you put out there.
How
right?
many people click the
No.
links that you post? Stuff like that.
If you had one video that 7 million people have seen, that's probably has as much clout as 7 million videos that only one person has
No, but
watched.
how
getting a
many
shit ton
people?
of
How
Clearasil
many
after
people
that, bro.
clicked that video because you directly gave them the link? That's
it's
what
about,
it's measuring.
It's about building a following
So
and
you don't even
keeping
have
that
to
following, right?
be creative at all. You just have
no,
to have a
and
link
you'll get a
service.
rating. You'll get
Wow.
they have a chart, and you're like a broadcaster, so you have like an audience, and you know it really well, and you're catering to that audience, or you're like a creator, or you're a thought leader, or you're whatever.
You're a trendsetter.
A trendsetter, yeah, whatever. Some people, like Joe Rogan, for example, for podcasts, is up like in the 80s or something right now for clout because everybody knows
It's
who
really
he is.
funny because like years ago, companies used to what they would call like cool hunt, and
Yeah.
they look for
oh,
kids.
they still do that. Cool
Yeah,
hunting's a
they
big
look for
thing in
kids who are
marketing.
like kind of counterculture in the sense that they weren't
Yeah.
dressing like everyone, and they kind of had their own styles, right?
Yeah, they want to
And-
jump onto a trend before it becomes
Yeah,
popular.
and they sort of start their own trends, and then companies would see this and say,
Totally.
"Well, oh, here's something new. You know, let's take this and let's make this, let's popularize it." Basically,
you
That's
don't
what
like
they did.
my trends? Fuck you.
Yeah, and so like, there's the companies have been cool hunting for years, but like they've always been looking for those like
Yeah.
trendsetters, right?
needed
And now with
something.
the onset of digital communication and things like Facebook and Twitter,
Yeah.
it's just made it even more so, right? It's so much more prevalent.
They needed a tool like Twitter to come out, and then they needed a way to capture the metrics of that and to use it to their advantage. And that's, I guess, what klout kind of is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if you get your score over 50, like companies will just start sending you shit because they want to pause a review because they can tell that you have some sort of influence with your online
Yeah,
presence.
if I get my klout any higher, I'm gonna get invited to like some like events
parties?
for when they release new things, new products and stuff like that. Like if
Dude,
Microsoft,
you're gonna be like at the Clearasil opening brand opening. of,
and yeah,
Oh, I
as,
can
as
only
long as
hope.
you're,
Their
as
new
long as you're
product
tweeting
lines.
about that, you'll continue to get shit.
Yeah.
Because as long as you keep
I
promoting a
fucked
product,
up
they're
'cause
more
I've
than
been-
happy
Maybe you'll
to
be doing
promote it.
ads that are like, I think I ate too many chocolate bars, but I
have
don't
some
wash
fries,
my face.
Pedro.
Dude, that's you, AK 2012 chocolate bar boy.
But they'll just like give you. They'll
The
like create
ironic
fake
thing is,
pimples
I had
for the
always
before and
had,
afters.
I've always had like, I've never had a problem with zits, and then I actually got like a giant zit on my face like a week after I got the Clearasil.
We were hanging out that day, and
Yeah.
Gave you
that zit was
Clearasil
massive,
zits?
it
man.
was so big, dude.
It had a profile when I like you saw the side of your face.
It was like one of those iceberg ones where like the majority of it's under the skin still.
I
And
hate those.
oh man,
You gotta
I'm ravenous.
apply
With,
the
like,
heat.
I,
apply
like
the
if I have a
Clearasil.
zit like that, I gotta pop it. I
Gotta
can't
pop
leave it
it.
alone, and I just mash the shit out of my face, and then I can't go outside for like a week because it looks all mashed up.
Are you coming? I can't go. I'm dealing with my new friend.
Oh, yeah.
That was
That's
like
a-
the fucking worst.
it just
slash
like
best commercial of all time.
reinforces your fear of the public, your agoraphobia when you have it.
I'm babysitting my new friend.
That's when you need Grizzlebees to deliver the most.
That's right, man. They better put that extra sauce on there.
Just you and Pastulio hanging out.
Pustulio.
Invader Zim reference.
So
for
moving
anybody
along,
who knows that.
I found this website called Instructables a little while ago,
What?
and basically what it'll do is teach you how to build stuff. So I looked up chopper bicycle because I've wanted to have a chopper.
I think this was made for people who loved Connects when they were kids.
Maybe. But I've wanted to
Or
own a
Meccano.
chopper bike for a
Meccano,
while.
too. Yeah, yeah.
But they're really
Erector?
expensive to buy online. They're like, like
The erector sets?
a nice one's like upwards of like $500-600
Huh.
for like a bike that you can't really ride up hills or like do anything like
But
really
it
like
looks
intense
sweet.
on.
It looks like a hipster bike to me.
Looks sweet.
So
No,
what
that's
I found
gangster.
is this website
That's
where
G.
this guy
That's
had
gangster,
made
sorry.
one of these bicycles from
Debo
completely
would
found
own one of
materials.
those.
Shut the fuck up and quit interrupting me.
Debo.
So basically, yeah, like Instructables is great because you can go on there and just if there's something you want to build, chances are someone's got a plan of how to do it and probably a video of how to show you what you need to do to
I want to
accomplish
build a
your goals,
3D
so
printer.
Let's post a link for that on
it's
the
all
site
on the
later
page.
Does it have a
Everything's on the
3D
page.
printer on there?
Can I build a 3D printer?
You know what? I'm gonna post the Kickstarter for it so you guys can actually see it in action because I realize it's hard to conceptualize. When we
What, the
conceptualize
actual
what?
3D printer?
You just gotta imagine a printer.
I've seen 3D printers.
a
yeah,
printer
they're
that
not
can move
that
in two
hard.
different axes, so it's like X, Y, right? So it's like coming from the top, and it can build here, or it can build here. It's moving around, and
I think
then
it
goes-
has 3 different axes.
Well, yeah,
doesn't
and
it?
it's the Z axis is up, right? So it starts in the bottom layer
Hence the 3D.
and it builds up like that.
Speaking of technology in 3D, I want to just segue into something else that I saw recently. There's this most recent Coachella that had a tribute to Tupac where he was completely as a hologram. Okay, they did an entire show with Tupac as a hologram. Or it's not an entire show, but like a couple of songs with Tupac
like
and
six
Snoop
minutes.
Dogg
Mirrors.
came out in reality. Like Snoop was actually there on stage.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's, they're doing like Gangster Party or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And they had Tupac doing like a full fucking song. And it
Three
was
songs.
So,
Three.
Was it
three
a
songs?
was
Yeah.
it a song he'd ever sung before?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it was one of his favorites or
Oh, that's too
classics
bad.
like Gangster
Okay.
Party or whatever it was.
Right.
And Tupac was
You
like,
mean 2 of America's Most Wanted?
sure, whatever. The song doesn't
That's
really
awesome.
matter. It's just the fact that they
It
were able to
does.
utilize hologram to fucking bring Tupac back to life.
It wasn't a hologram.
Yeah,
It was.
it was
was-
a hologram.
It was
No,
a
it wasn't.
100-year-old trick. It's
It-
really old
it
technology.
wasn't. It
well,
was-
it looked
was-
like they were using
they
an LED
fired
wall.
the image
actually.
against mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors.
Yeah,
And the other thing is, Tupac looked like he had been like hulking the fuck up since he died.
No, man,
because he looked way more jacked up than he did when he died.
An old video of
no,
Tupac's.
no. He like Tupac was like in good shape, but he was like lean.
They CGI'd him.
The
So they
hologram,
beefed him up.
hologram Tupac had like 4 tiers of abdominal muscles
was
on his.
P90
So is that
X-ing.
like the thing? If you're regenerated or recreated when you're dead, you got to be souped up. Like it can't be the original version. It's got to be a fucking hybrid, right? Because
You know what happens to me after I get resurrected? I'm jacked, I'm tanned, I'm ripped, I'm shredded, I'm raw.
That's what happens.
Raw.
Quote Jesus.
You got a dog, you got a gym. You got a door, you got a job. Doorman.
So that's
Ben Fudge, doorman for the stars.
that's true though.
Like Jim Gundy.
I guess if you die and you're brought back as a hologram, you're gonna be brought back in the best light
Yeah, I mean,
possible.
I still think it's a really fun and
That's
cool
not
idea.
true. Have you guys never seen Red Dwarf?
Have you never? Have you guys not
shit,
seen the
yeah.
John Candy hologram? They made him even fatter. He wasn't ripped and jacked.
Yeah, but
Nor
for John
tanned.
Candy, you accentuate the fat because the fat is what is partially why he's
Exactly.
so funny.
You don't like Uncle Buck? Fuck you.
It's like if Chris Farley was back, they'd make him fatter and more jolly. You know.
Yeah.
It's just like you accentuate. That's what like video game and like that representative technology does. Is it makes things more real than what real is.
Rolling Stone.
That's
had,
like the hyper real. That's
Exaggerated
a concept.
real, yeah.
Exaggerated reality. That's a concept that like Jean Baudrillard talked about years ago. Man, the guy was all talking about how we create something that is more real than what realistic is, and what the actual reality is now superseded by something that's hyper real. That's more real than real.
Have you guys seen
That's trippy.
a lot of video or read anything about augmented reality and the steps they're making
Oh,
in that,
the
like
Google glasses?
and
Yeah.
there's actually already a set of snowboarding glasses that have that same kind of technology. Like it'll tell you how fast you're going, what time.
It's like
It-
what's in Manny Malholtzer's eye.
kind of It links up to your phone. Really cool stuff.
Malhotra?
Well, Malholtzer got the stick to the eye last playoffs, and so
yeah.
they put in like a cyborg eye.
No.
Why it's
And
so
so
good at
it-
face-offs.
Yeah, and so he like knows exactly when the arm moves from the guy who's gonna drop the puck, and it's like brap, 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 and it triggers like all these like functions in his brain and shit. It's
So
pretty,
he's a cyborg.
yeah, he's a cyborg essentially.
That's amazing.
Operation Manny Project.
What
But
were
he
we
ain't
talking
fresh.
about?
She's like,
How many $1 million is this contract?
he probably only makes like $1.5 million a season.
The $1.5 million man.
He's a 1.5 seasonal.
$1.5 million
He's
man.
the 1.5 seasonal.
The Google glasses were misleading though, because the video they showed you wasn't compatible with the product they were.
Technology is
This thing, right?
always
Like,
misleading.
The product
When it
they
comes
were
out.
showing, it was one lens coming over your right eye,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
was that was where the feed of information was coming to. Whereas the video, it was a completely 360 view where the whole device had augmented reality
Right.
imposed over it.
It's not
So it's a
nearly-
little different from what they were advertising.
I just worry because I mean people are pretty dumb what with like cell phones now and walking and driving. Like I worry when you put these glasses on and walk and drive with these glasses.
Is it
There's
just
just going to be
distracting,
way
right?
more
gonna
accidents.
be
People
You
are going
never
to
know,
walk
they
out in
could
front of
come up with,
cars.
like a peripheral vision app where it would kind of alert you to stuff going on where you couldn't really see it. I mean, like the
maybe
possibility.
it could
Alright, let's
actually
take it
help
as-
you. I
so you can see your
suppose.
blind
Yeah.
spots and shit like that, like
Maybe.
without even looking.
Yeah,
that
no,
way.
but
You
take it
never
a
know.
step further and be like, okay, what if it's on the windshield of my car? Like I know Cadillac has the technology with a HUD on the windscreen, but what if one of the things on the HUD was your Twitter feed?
Yeah, that would
No.
be ridiculous. Maybe they put like 360-degree cameras on
But
top
I
of
mean,
cars to like empower that kind of
They
thing.
just got to go autonomous.
Aren't we
anyway.
getting close
Yeah.
to
That's
having
true.
vehicles that can
Yeah,
drive
they
themselves?
gotta
They
drive
are. They are
themselves.
actually
Gotta
close
drive
to that,
themselves.
yeah.
We got better shit to do than drive around in traffic.
Yeah, like what? I got
We
a
could be
car. I want to get
Facebooking
shit
and
faced
Twittering
tonight.
and
I want my car to
increasing
drive
our
me home.
Traffic
I want
flow,
finger
yeah,
banging.
I want to
disappear.
increase my clout score while I finger
Screw
bang
taxis.
in my car.
Like, I want my car to drive me home when I'm drunk and talk to me and be like, "Hey, Darcy, you're pretty fucked up tonight, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, give me my fuck. I want to go to McDonald's and then I want to go home."
Yo, in hindsight, that kit was the perfect car for David Hasselhoff. Like to get him to go through the drive-through and stuff. Like you're hungry, aren't you? Aren't you?
Yeah, it's like my spidey senses in this car tell me you need to eat some mixed shittles, and you're like, "Yeah, fucking take me there, bitch." Sure.
Can I
It
take you
knows
through
David
drive-through?
Hasselhoff is too drunk to eat with two hands, and let alone drive. So it's just like, let me just take this
Let me
one
take over.
concern off your shoulders.
I got this.
That would be fucking awesome, dude.
Do you guys remember that Iborg documentary where they showed the fire mask that had
That
augmented
was-
That
reality?
was super cool.
I thought it was the guy who got like the video camera put in his.
No, it was different.
One of
It
his
was-
eyes.
It was a
And
yeah.
then he
It
gets
was
a
a
video
fire
read
mask, and it would
into
show you
his-
like temperature, how much oxygen is in the atmosphere.
No, I've never
It
seen
would tell
that.
you like
that was
all
part
kinds
of
of cool
Iborg. It was
information.
part of it.
No, Iborg was just
I
some
thought Iborg was
idiot
just a
with a
webcam.
camera.
I-
and
Iborg-
he had
he
it
was-
and it was connected to his phone. and
No,
he thought
there's
he
the
was super
documentary
cool.
that they
No,
did
but he
for
filmed-
Deus Ex.
He filmed it for Deus Ex, and he went to all these other places that were doing cool cyborg type
Things
shit.
way cooler than him.
Yeah, things way
'Cause his
cooler
shit
than.
was not very Iborg.
No, it's just a video camera in
It's
his
kind
head.
of dumb.
And it's
That's all it
black
is.
and white.
It's a video
not
camera
even
that you can't
HD.
even use.
And you
I
can't
mean,
see it.
if he were to close his other eye, that video camera would be useless to him.
True.
Have you guys ever like heard of like any of the crazy shit that goes down at like those gaming conventions, like a BlizzCon or any of that kind of shit? Like I know Jack Black
Cosplay?
and Tenacious D played a BlizzCon, and it was fucking hilarious because I guess they must have had a huge sound error. And Jack Black's talking about his like roadie guy he was born, he was fucking birthed on the road, like his parents were roadies and blah blah. And he's like, but he can't get my fucking sound to work, and he's just like losing his mind at BlizzCon or something.
Wow.
But like,
Brody's song though, right? Didn't he break into a song?
oh yeah.
It was a good song.
It was
It was
good.
funny.
It was
funny.
great. Like he totally. That's what a good comedian can do: is take a shitty situation, turn it into something fucking hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Crowd work.
Yeah, crowd.
I think
work,
it was one of his
exactly.
songs though. Actually,
Yeah,
they have
it
a song
was-
about the roadie
yeah,
or whatever.
Maybe it was. Either way, it was great.
If I was going to go to a big convention, I think I would go to the CES, Consumer Electronics convention show. Yeah, because all the gadgets there, like, regardless of how useful or applicable to your life they are, some of them just look really fucking cool.
Is that where they started the like Samsung window, something like that? Like
the
that was
Clear
the
TV?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it debuted at
Yeah.
CES. That's where
Yeah.
you see all the cutting edge
that in
stuff that they
Vegas?
don't really have
Vegas
enough.
or Cali? Where is it?
Vegas.
Yeah,
Hmm.
seems like Vegas.
All the cool
is-
ones are in Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah, or Europe.
I gotta
Europe
get-
has
I
a
gotta
lot
go
of
to
big
Vegas.
conventions as
You'd
well.
think a lot of them would be in China, where all the shit gets made,
No,
like Shanghai or Beijing or.
Yeah, there are some there, I think, but like the North American money
it's the
is
money.
in Vegas.
Who wants to go to
The,
stinky ass China?
the population.
Oh, dude.
The local population itself doesn't have the money to
Is it
buy
actually
these
at
things.
2 billion now? China?
No,
That seems
I think
high.
it's getting there, but
It's like 1
I think
point.
that's Asia. whole,
China's
isn't
pretty
it? I don't
fucking
know.
cool. I think it's a lot different.
2
Hong Kong
billion?
versus mainland China is a lot different. But like Guangzhou, the city that I
probably
spent
at 1 point.
quite a bit of
something.
time in China on the South China Sea there, used amazing LED like paneling on all their skyscrapers and shit. Like they had really cool. It'd be ads or it'd be like visual displays like on all the sides of all the buildings there. It was fucking cool, man. And like every
Shit.
night, the whole harbor would be lit up with like all the way along the waterways would have like LED lighting displaying along the whole place, and then like even the boats in the water would have fucking LEDs running down the whole thing.
Cool.
Like really cool.
Well, fuck, LEDs are so efficient. I mean, really, we could have them everywhere all the time. With the amount of energy we use in North America,
Yeah.
LEDs could replace pretty much every incandescent bulb in existence, and then some, times 10. Right?
In
More than that.
you're right.
They're 100
you're
times
right.
more efficient.
9 times
100
out of
fold.
10, you're right. The one time that they don't,
Yeah.
the one time that they're a little bit different
Is when you're
in
trying to
fields
hatch
like
chicken eggs.
no, it's in fields like
And they don't
like
put out
live
enough
theater
heat.
or film.
Okay, yeah.
The
They
warmth,
can be
the
harsh.
color temperature that
can't-
comes out of LED is much colder than incandescent
Okay,
light,
right.
and that
I've noticed that with my
presents
eyes,
itself quite a
but
bit differently. It
but
like it
don't
makes
you have-
makes you look really pale
Keep-
and ugly.
Don't you
Yeah,
have
it's not
gels?
Whereas the
light for
warmth
that.
from incandescent, yes, there are
Mirrors
gels,
and
but the
gels.
incandescent itself just gives off a warmer light. It's
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like,
it
it's
is. It is a
psychological.
warmer light.
It is a
It
warmer
is-
light,
it
but
is
it
technically
really
warmer, yeah.
does. I don't know. It
If
brings
you
out
ever
more.
have to,
It's-
if you
like
have to
80
go up and like adjust like a regular light versus an LED
Burn
light,
your fucking hand.
yeah, you need gloves on
Yeah.
another one because it's or like you got to
They're
approach
about
it
Well, they're
cautiously. right? 'Cause
2/3
they're
the
fucking
temperature of the
hot.
surface
They're
of the sun.
89% heat.
About 3,000 degrees
You know?
Kelvin.
Like most of the electricity going to an incandescent bulb goes directly to heat energy, and then the
Yeah, it's
remaining
waste.
10% is
waste.
light.
Anything heat is waste.
Yeah, so it's a lot of waste.
3,000 degrees Kelvin, and the surface of
Don't
the
get
sun
me
is
wrong,
about
LEDs
5,000.
look great.
God
Like
damn.
So it's
if you
almost
use an
halfway to the
LED
surface of
on-
the sun. It's more than halfway to the
Wow,
surface
that's
of the sun.
intense.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's lights that we use every day.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's like when
They're
you,
hot.
it's like when you find, we use two for some of the lights, right? So you'll put 2 instruments or more on one
Yeah.
dimmer. So it's like when you see the burns in the chickens and shit like that.
Well, that's electricity.
Sorry,
that's
chicken is
electricity.
a reference to
I'm
a
just saying
twofer.
the light bulbs
Okay.
themselves get
Thought you were,
extremely
like,
hot.
Talking about KFC chickens and grilling.
No,
them
no,
with
no. That would
incandescent
be
light
that would be
bulbs.
like what just happened in fucking KFC in Australia. Yeah, mate. So if you eat at KFC in Australia, you gotta look out.
Salmonella.
You're gonna get fucking brain diseases, eh? $8.3 million. That's what you're gonna get.
5.1 million pounds, and
That's a lot.
the girl was paralyzed and left with severe brain damage after eating KFC.
From bad chicken.
Dude, that
Yeah.
makes our
Yeah.
our visit to KFC in Canada last episode seem
So like, what's
petty in
riskier, going to
comparison, hey?
KFC or doing a cannonball loop?
oof.
I don't know. One's like a guaranteed head injury. The other's a crapshoot with paralysis.
Yeah, and the thing is, KFC pays out way more money than Action Park.
Yeah,
So I'd go to KFC.
KFC's got
Pockets.
the loot. Go to KFC.
And you know what? This story probably won't be public because they paid out. But
Yeah.
corporations
Except we know
have
about it.
so much money invested into paying lawsuits.
What is it?
That is just part of
What's
corporations.
a legal
is
term when
Yeah.
you
paying
get
out.
a settlement, but you're restricted from talking about it?
It's
don't know.
called this
Gag order?
I can't
Gag-
remember.
Gag,
what
no,
that
a
is.
gag order is while the
That's a witness.
litigation is still in process. It's so evidence or testimony doesn't leak out from the courtroom.
Right. I didn't know. I don't know. Is there a protection like that? You can't speak of the
There's
case after.
maybe it's
or-
a non-disclosure agreement or
That-
something like
It's
Yeah,
a
that
yeah,
sounds-
yeah. It's a non-disclosure agreement.
I just know all these corporations, KFC, McDonald's, they all spend millions of
They s-
dollars
they
paying
spend-
off
I bet
lawsuits.
you they
There's
have an
places-
annual
that's-
operating budget of $100 million
Exactly.
for
They
like
have
a
an operating
McDonald's
budget of
every
how
year.
much they're going to lose in lawsuits. alone.
There's
They'll just
places
pay
in
off
the
'cause
States
it's
where
cheaper.
it's like a big
Awesome.
a big one unit Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, McDonald's. Like you can get it's a one-stop shop for all your shitty fast food.
Yeah, or it's a
Sounds like a-
it's a
sounds like a mall.
collaboration of like 3 companies under one larger company. Like it's a Subway and a Timmy's or whatever together because they all have the same ownership. when it
Das
gets
Das
higher, you know?
Racist has a song about the combination.
Someone should just
Pizza Hut,
create that.
KFC, Taco Bell.
KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell.
That's what it's called.
Really?
I'm at the combination
Katza
Pizza
Bell?
Hut and KFC, Taco
No,
Bell.
you'd have to combine all the words and have like 2
Katza
letters
Bell.
of each. What is it?
Katzabel.
Katza Bell. Is that all them
That was
together?
KFC, Pizza Hut,
You have
and
McDonald's
Taco
in there
Bell.
though.
No.
You need McDonald's
they're-
because if you come
Katza
to
hell.
McDonald's is a different organization.
Macasa hell, Macasa hell, mi casa de hell, güey. Pero ahorita nosotros empezamos para ti.
God bless corporations and all
Have you
their
guys-
lawsuits.
So the last news bit we got here is
News?
about the TSAs in
Oh, shit.
LAX
Oh,
and
not
how
them again.
Oh, yeah.
4 of them got caught, or 4 of them are accused of allowing these 20 kilograms of cocaine and other drugs to pass through.
Yeah.
And 1 courier was caught along with them. And
So
that just
I
makes
think
me
this
think,
is
like,
dumb.
okay, these guys got caught, but how many TSAs are, like, a little smarter than average dumb people and are just smart enough to let maybe, like, a little bit go through, like, once every 6 months or something like that? Like, the TSAs having that much power allows for so much potential corruption to take root there.
have you ever been
Yeah.
to LAX?
That's
yes,
it.
it's huge.
I've
so
been
big.
to LAX as well, and when I was there, there was this is like maybe 8 months after 9/11, so fucking heavy security, right? And they had like armed guards with dog teams walking the airports like everywhere, man. And I was like, I was pretty intimidated, right? Because I don't know, I'm like a hippie looking traveler, and I'm like, yeah, maybe they'll pull me over, damn Canadians. But then I was like, oh, okay, there's some other people here who will be talked to before me, so it's all right, you know.
Well, the
I
only
don't
reason
speak
these guys
Spanish,
and
man.
they're all brown, so you're safe.
Yeah, the only
See?
reason these guys got busted is because one of their couriers went through the wrong gate like a fucking moron, and he got caught by security guards that are actually on the up and up.
And then they saw like security footage of
Then they
him
busted him,
passing.
and he rolled over on the 4 TSAs.
So it was
that were
his
working
own
in the
fail
smuggling.
that was for them to basically.
So who are
fail.
the TSAs?
what
the
an
TSAs are
asshole.
the searchers.
Yeah,
Is
they,
that-
they operate like the X-rays,
The
and the body
X-rays and the-
scanners,
Oh,
and they
that's
do
so
the pat
terrible
downs.
for you. I'm gonna always pick
Who-
pat down over X-ray. I don't want my cells
like-
to mutate in
I don't know if
latter.
X-ray did
I'm
that.
latter
gonna
They don't
look
give
the
you a
TSA in
choice,
the eye
really.
and be like, "Touch my balls, search them,
They're going to anyway.
search my taint."
So you
But
might as
who
well
who
talk
else would
dirty
you
to 'em.
find? Who else would be responsible? I mean, yes, these TSAs got busted, right? 4 of them or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
say you're trying to get into a club. Okay, you're trying to get into a club and you're trying to avoid the line. Are you going to pay the waiter?
In cocaine,
No. Are you going to pay the waiter?
Yo,
Are you
the
gonna
doorman?
are you gonna pay the bartender?
Maitre
Are you going to
d'.
pay the owner? No, you're going to pay the bouncer who's
depends
outside.
how much cocaine I've
So the
trafficked
bouncer
in.
is always going to get busted. Like the TSA is obviously the person
They're the
who's going to
front.
get corrupted. If you have to get drugs past the customs agent, then you pay the customs agent.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
So
'cause
it's always going to be that job.
if you think about
like
it,
it's
yeah.
always going to be the custom agent. It's always going to be the person who's directly
Well, there's so
involved
much
with
money.
And that
smuggling it
job-
through.
that
It's
job
not
is
going to be the
always
baggage
going to
guy. It's
exist.
not
Have you
going to
guys
be-
ever seen Border Town Laredo?
No.
This is it's
Yeah,
a show.
briefly. It's like the
Nah, I've
the
never seen
episode
it.
I saw is them just busting
This show's
like,
not that great,
nickelbaggers.
but just what happens, the lengths that some people will go to get that fucking drug money from the States down into Mexico and like vice versa to move the drugs up here. I saw these guys rip apart a car and you had to go all the way inside the fucking engine to find where the money was stored. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And
That's
they
intense.
were on a hunch. They had these,
Somebody-
open it up, you know.
Somebody told me today that they know someone who ships.
But that's what
quarter.
That's what I mean. If you want to get drugs across the border, you don't pay some officer. You pay the actual person who's
Checking.
the customs agent.
Checking it.
The
checking your
custom
bag.
agent is going to be the one you
You're
pay
the-
and who's corrupt.
he's
and
the-
he's going to say, "Oh,
Yeah.
yep,
He's the
okay,
squeaky
go on
wheel that
through."
gets the grease.
Entrada, por favor.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to grease
Yeah.
somebody.
It's not like
no, but
it's not the
That-
position's fault.
if
It's
you
just
think about
that
it,
position
someone
is
is
like the
always
front
going to
line.
be bringing drugs in, and someone's
Yeah.
always going to be buying it. And so
There's
this-
always a market. There's always a demand
Yeah.
for coke and weed and all that kind of shit in a
yeah, that's
society
not
like
going
this, right?
away. Like the war on drugs will never win because we'll never be. This thirst for drugs will never be slaked. You know, there's always going to be people in society that use it for whatever.
Yeah.
They're altering their consciousness.
Recreational or
And that shouldn't be illegal in the first place because who are you to decide how somebody should perceive reality, unless they're harming somebody else, and there's already laws for that.
Yeah.
So
Well, then what about sociopaths? We have laws against sociopathy and psychopathy.
do we?
Yeah.
If you're a sociopath,
Yeah.
you can get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
What is that like? Sleeping with your boss to get a
'cause
raise?
It's often
It's
often used.
mental disability or not disability.
dangerous.
You're
just
just
dangerous. you have
lunacy, mental lunacy.
yeah, You're
Isn't that a defense though to get out of something? Like, oh, I
get out of jail.
I couldn't
suppose,
I
yeah.
couldn't prevent myself from putting myself
Yeah,
in that
it's
situation
in
because I was
terms
You're
of that's how the
temporarily-
law
or
views it, for
temporarily
sure.
insane or
Yeah.
whatever.
But you
that's
end
not-
up going to a mental institution.
That's not the same as you choosing to take some
No,
kind
no,
of
no.
a
I'm saying we look upon those people as dangerous.
right.
Or
But they're not in trouble until they've actually done something
I guess
wrong.
you're right. I guess you're right.
They're
Until
not in
they've
trouble
actually
until
broken
they've
the law.
violated someone else's
Right.
rights or done something against the law.
However,
Innocent until
if-
proven guilty.
If psychopathy is found in like a young child, they'll probably be like
Kill it.
forced to go into like therapy or something
that would
like
just
that.
eliminate so many chicks that move to Hollywood.
we should
so
have
many
a thing called Psycho
No,
Island
no,
where
no,
we
no,
just
no.
take all the-
Psychopathy is totally
take all
different,
these
man. That's like
psychos
where
and
you
put 'em
just
on
kill
one
people
island.
with no
There's
with
no
no
just one
ethics.
type of
and it's like the Highlander, and there can be
though.
Yeah,
only
it is.
one
It's where
psycho.
It's where you don't believe
that survives.
You don't share normal social ethics,
What's normal?
believing that killing someone is wrong,
Got the lighter.
So if you decide that killing,
believing that torturing someone is wrong.
but we
It might not be universal, but
allow
it's
torturing at the
something that
highest levels
we
of our
consider
so our government's clearly
a
insane.
majority.
So we should lock
Well,
them up.
There's
is that?
definitely
what?
there's corruption in
Torturing.
our government for sure.
Yeah.
But
Because you just said torturing is this
We,
psychopathic
most
act,
people consider that as wrong.
and we
yes.
condone it. Our government condones it. Yet
Mm.
they're also the ones that are controlling the laws and
what,
instituting them.
psychos?
You
Yeah,
don't
well,
like the way
no,
I
no, no, that's the
legislate?
thing.
You don't
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
That's the beautiful
You
thing
don't
about
like my
psychopaths.
bills,
is
Chico?
They make great leaders. They're fantastic.
Well, they
leaders.
do, and they
put
found out.
psychopaths in leaders because they don't have morals or ethics, and they have to make
No, I read,
decisions
I read
without
an
Wanna
article on
pass
Wall,
a
Street,
bill?
on Wall
Makes
Street
sense.
Journal, and it said that all people like with slightly lower emotional functioning brains that have been like
Make great
lobotomized
leaders.
in a way or have brain damage from the war or
Right.
something, they make the best
The best.
stockbrokers.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
They can make the decisions without connecting to it
They
without
have
emotionally.
having an
emotional
emotional
attachment.
connection
And these are
or
also
putting
the,
any,
the,
brain
the
bias
people that
on it.
make
Yet
really great CEOs for companies. Like, maybe
and they
Mitt
make great
Romney.
leaders. They
Which
make
in
great world
essence is
leaders.
hilariously ironic and ridiculous.
It is. The more
it's
the
not.
m- it because
It's tough choices.
companies are getting
Yeah,
so
but it's just
strong,
like,
so powerful, man. They're basically nation states, so they're controlling more of the welfare of the public than the governments used to. And we're not electing those people to be our leaders, right? They're people who are
they've made their way up the chain.
they made their way up the chain whatever way. So
by being
and-
a psychopath.
by being
Yeah.
a by
It
being
works.
a sociopath,
It's
and a
capitalist.
psychopath.
Well,
It
IKEA
works.
recently bought a bunch of property in South
all about
London that they're
definition, though.
talking about.
yeah.
I guess maybe not renovating, but like recreating like the whole kind of economy, and they want to kind of change the environment. They want to kind of make it this kind of upscale, like
Is this
know,
in
like
London or in
London's
in
not
London.
up,
In London,
upscale
eh?
enough. They only have
wanna
a
make
little
their
bit
own
of
little
royalty
London
in
community.
fish
palaces.
chips, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Do they want to make
They-
like
they
a
just wanted
trendy
to take
community
this
or
kind
something?
of like, I guess, a little bit of a rundown area and
Yeah.
change it into this very like,
trendy.
you know, yuppie-ish,
A new-
trendy,
a
like,
new way- a
like
new-
ideal Euro cafe type
create
of
a
scenario. But like
property
not,
bubble.
Not only would the IKEA own the property, but they'd have some say in how it's governed as well.
Interesting.
So that's when it
So
starts
it's
getting
IKEA land?
It's like IKEA
Yeah,
land.
I read it on Wired.
Wow. You read a lot on Wired these days.
It's the
Good
island
mag.
of IKEA.
Good mag. I was one of my
You will
favorites
get
too.
your dinner where it's here.
There's
good and
they're
cheap,
the
you will
biggest,
buy it.
Wired's
I mean, you will
pretty
buy, you will
reliable in
want to
terms of
buy.
their
They
their
are.
accuracy of their
Are
information.
they?
They've had some really good
Wired?
journalism recently. Yeah.
I really
Is
like
it,
their-
Like they
Uh,
broke the NSA scandal.
it-
They broke the scandal
Are
about
the writers professional, or does anyone sort of write?
They have
like, is
bloggers, but they also have like professional writers on staff. They have a lot of. I really like how they focus on space and just exploration.
It's
and,
really big.
yeah, like they
like
they get lots of
space.
great photos from the Hubble telescope that they post
I think
up.
the Hubble had like a birthday recently.
it's
think
almost going to
it's-
be
it's his
retired
birthday
soon. They're
last
putting up
couple
a
days.
better, newer version of Hubble.
Hubble 2.0.
It'll see things further and better, clear, higher res. So that'll be good. I think we got to wait a couple of years for the pictures to come back, but
Bummer.
yeah,
Fuck,
everything's
man.
always such
Light
a wait for
speed?
space.
Jesus.
I know.
Fucking light speed.
Did you guys read
So
or hear
slow.
anything about the initiative to mine asteroids?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it's
going on
huge.
right
Jim,
now.
It's
Jim
huge.
Cameron, Terminator director guy.
It's a
Yeah,
big-
and Google's right behind it too.
a lot of things are. There's a lot of resources that you can get up there, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's
and
not unfeasible anymore.
Yeah, not only like rare metals,
It's
but
awesome.
like water.
How happy
And
would
yeah.
you be if you snared
Helium.
an asteroid that was pure gold? You'd be the happiest motherfucker on Earth.
got the gold, the girls, the dinero.
You rain that in. You put your
I
giant.
go wherever I want.
You put your
Whenever
giant
I
tractor
want.
beam lasso out in space and you wrangle that golden asteroid in.
So speaking of space, I want to talk about something that's important to me.
Retro project.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
God.
shit. Krang?
So the new movie coming out.
Oh,
Do you guys
Michael
know about
Bay.
this?
Didn't we talk about this on the last
No.
podcast?
Did we?
No, not Michael Bay's version.
Yeah, this is
This
the Michael
new-
Bay.
They're supposed to be aliens or something?
we might have
That
brought
is
it
correct.
up.
They are
It's big
aliens.
news.
That's fucking
They're
ridiculous. man.
extraterrestrial
Extraterrestrial.
teenage turtles.
Yeah, TMNT in space.
ETT.
But is Krang involved is what I want to know.
I don't know.
Because
But, I mean, like
if he,
justifying.
if he, if
No
he
one-
works in Krang.
No one's ever tried to do Krang
I,
in live
think I just tried to
action.
do Krang like
I
he
think
was
do
like a
Krang
Hebrew.
in live action.
I
You're
got a
gonna
Krang.
I think
when
they'll have
Krang was
Krang.
Hebrew,
you're gonna scare a lot of
I
people
think
away.
they're gonna have
think.
Krang.
Oh,
I think
no.
they'll have another
You know what?
dimension because
Michael
they're
Bay's
already
ballsy
turtles
enough.
from
No, I'm
space.
calling
Another
Krang for
dimension
Krang
is
already.
If
brilliant.
he's ballsy enough to put Krang in it, then I'm
He's
down
gonna
to
have
see
but
Krang.
he's
how he pulled it
Krang, but he's
off.
got
If-
like a Yiddish beard.
No,
He's like,
if you want to, Krang's like Shredder.
I don't know. I think
Oh my
Krang
God,
is gonna be
that's what
some
you
You've been working
creepy.
on your Krang.
Oh,
Dude,
my-
you
my
can like
Krang,
you can
I
make
love
Krang
Krang.
like
The
whatever
most
you want
fucked
now.
up
You know,
little
like
sounds.
he's a Hasidic
He
Jew.
sounded like a head crab.
Krang's a Hasidic Jew. What's wrong with that?
I think he's gonna be some creepy like alien thing, like just sitting in a bowl.
He's a giant
gonna
brain.
Be,
Oh, he'll be like,
he's gonna
yeah,
be
he
evil.
is
It's
just a
gonna
giant
be.
brain,
I don't
yeah.
think it's gonna be Cheeto like that. It's gonna be.
Here's the
fucking
thing about
creepy.
Krang that doesn't really add up. He's 100% brain, but he
Mush.
can't remember how to get home. He's
What?
stuck in the core of the Earth in the
Dimension-
Technodrome,
He's in another
It- no,
dimension.
and he
he's in-
doesn't know how to get back
He's
to
trying to
Dimension
take
X.
over the world.
Is he in Dimension X?
Yeah, he's in
No,
Dimension
he's
X.
in the core of the Earth, and he can't find Dimension
in the
X.
Terrordrome.
Yeah, he's in the Terrordrome.
No,
He's just in the biggest like.
he's in another dimension.
He's stuck in a giant like Death Star type battleship that
Is
could
he?
destroy a city New York.
it
by the
No,
way.
it's not. The Technodrome's just this
It's
tiny
huge.
little dome rolling
it's
on
like an
tank
old-
treads that's
It's
stuck in the
fucking
core
huge.
of the Earth.
It's supposed to be
It's
gigantic.
massive.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's-
as big as a moon.
it's a planet.
It's probably like 100 feet tall.
It's a planet.
Because remember the cartoon when you see the turtles running up to it, they're dwarfed by the tank tread.
Dude, I
So
did.
multiply the turtles by like 100.
I did
so-
I did the calculation for the
Maybe
the
that's like 600 feet tall then.
for the volume of
Oh,
Earth,
fuck your calculation. How long
and
ago
it's
did you do
far
that?
It's tall,
far
and
more
that's
than the
just
surface of the
radius.
Earth.
Oh,
it's like
so you gotta
it's
double
like
that.
it's exponentially bigger. So you can fit things like like 10 moons
I
inside
don't
of the
think-
Earth. Maybe not 10, but you can
I
get
don't
In
know,
a
I don't
hollowed
know.
out cave in the center of the Earth's core.
I'm just saying the Terrordrome
Be
is
awesome.
huge.
Terrordrome is supposed to be really big, and I'm pretty sure it's stuck in another dimension. I don't
Technodrome.
think it's in the center of the Earth.
Technodrome is in Earth, and it's
Is
trying
it?
to get back to
It's
Dimension
trying to
X,
find Dimension X?
where all of his rock
But I thought
soldiers
they
are.
always
The
cut
rest
to
of his
Dimension
rock
X.
soldiers.
Whenever
But
they
until
cut
he
to the
gets there,
Technodrome,
he-
it was like Dimension X.
Yeah, I thought it
And
was.
it would like have it would like be a weird desert
weird.
brown. It was like sepia
Were you
almost. Like,
cuntards not paying any attention
yeah,
to the
no, I
cartoon when
remember.
you watched it?
Well, why would they? I just remember specifically seeing.
He
like,
couldn't get back
it,
to
like,
Dimension
going
X.
into
That's why he was
Dimension
stuck in
X.
Earth.
Why does
No,
he use
no.
Shredder if he has interdimensional technology?
Because
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's-
know how to. He can't. He can't use it because it doesn't have the power to.
So he gets
But
a
what
He
about
can't
giant.
power the Technodrome.
How are the turtles gonna help him?
He gets an old
They're not.
Jap-
They're always working against him. Stupid.
He gets an old Japanese man who wears blades on his
Omonishi.
outfit, a giant
Yeah,
pig
no,
man,
It makes no sense.
and
I
a
have
giant
no idea
rhino
how
to get him
Krang
back.
Pulls rank over Shredder
he
because
doesn't-
Shredder's covered in sharp
fuck
blades.
going to the-
Hold on.
fuck going to the
so
scientists of the
ultimately, we're
Earth.
not really concerned about the fact that they're no longer mutants and they're going to be aliens.
No, I'm
We're
concerned.
okay with
I'm
that.
not-
Everyone's
I'm
okay
not
with
I
okay
it.
don't know how you get a space traveling turtle, but I mean,
You know what?
it sounds like bullshit to me.
I'm not okay
and,
with
and,
that.
and okay, if they're aliens, how does Splinter work into it? Like, how does he mutate with them?
I don't know
He's
if
Because
from-
they're
that's the
either.
whole premise.
He's
is
from a planet of rats.
He's he's the
So two separate
mean, you
planets.
could-
the
you could
rat
definitely
sensei.
Yeah.
There's enough of space out there to make up an explanation for anything, but are you willing to
Good point.
accept it? Because it's like changing the Spider-Man background or whatever. Like now he's got organic web shooters, now he doesn't. You know, whatever. It's these minor changes that are made to the character, but they have a deeper impact on the mythology of like where they came from, and the people who grew up with it might not react to that positively at all.
It's true.
But is
and
this
so
gonna-
far they haven't been.
No,
a lot
so
of people
far-
are very upset with this non-mutant alien.
Yeah, so far there's only outrage.
I love the turtles, but I could fucking care less
Me
as
too.
to what they are.
The first two movies are really good. They're really entertaining,
Yeah.
especially the first one. Casey Jones.
I mean, it's like how do you kill a vampire?
well, he's in all of them.
Jose Canseco bat. We definitely talked about this last
You
podcast.
guys
Did we?
Maybe you
Yeah,
guys
we
did.
did.
I wasn't there.
We
I
definitely did.
actually had stuff.
Because I
to do.
remember saying Jose Canseco bat.
I wasn't there because I have a life and stuff like that.
Boosh.
Well, the Ninja Turtles coming up again and again. He's
Pretty
not a
busy
bad
guy.
dude.
You owe us an essay.
They're an important part of our culture.
I have too much schoolwork as it is, bro.
Hold on.
Hold on to what?
Hold on to my beats. Because they about to drop, yo. I don't know.
We'll
Did you
edit that
seriously
out.
stop the conversation to do that?
It's okay, our conversation
no,
was,
it's done. I got to
dwindling.
stop this track. I just fucked
Should
it
we?
up.
Why don't we?
There was a death at Commonwealth Pool. Is that right?
It's got the shittiest little baby waves I've ever seen. Commonwealth
Oh,
Pool
yeah.
couldn't kill a chihuahua.
Yeah, it's not child-worthy death pool. That's for sure. But it was pretty cool when we first got it for the Commonwealth Games. I got to admit,
Yeah.
the first time I went there, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of sweet."
I caught some spirit.
Because I'd had the West Ed
Spirit of
experience. The
94.
fucking West Ed wave pool is dope, man. You take out the floaters out there, not the poos, but just like the
That's
the raft sort
Which
of
is
thing.
also there.
That's a lie.
Well, I can't say I've
You seen them
seen
scoop
a
poop
log
out
at.
of Oak Bay Rec kiddie pool before
No, I haven't.
with
But
the net?
Have you seen?
do they have do they have a choco net?
of the kiddie pool.
I've
They have
seen
a
them-
choco net.
I've seen them pick up some Mars bars. Put it that
They're
way.
like, get the choco net out, grab the fucking chlorine.
Put
We're
the-
going
yeah.
right back for it. Put in
Get
some
the
more,
caution tape out and a bucket of bleach.
put some more
Gonna need half
chlorine
an
in it.
hour.
There's only a couple of assholes that haven't been
not-
wiped
it's not
today that
even
in
that
that
long.
pool.
They don't even
Oh
wait that
god,
long.
add a little bit more chlorine.
They don't even wait that long.
They just piss into the pool to counteract the shit.
Yeah.
It's on you.
The
It's on
piss to
you.
shit
Good idea,
ratio is
balance.
super high.
Super high.
I always like doing laps in the kiddie pool.
You got to do,
Really?
man.
Feel like you're swimming real fast.
warm.
Yeah,
you're
just
going
so
back
long.
and forth
You gotta,
really quick.
you gotta dive
There's a
in
little
at the
bit more
beginning, right?
resistance.
You gotta just like you do
I
like
don't
a
know,
yoga
man.
pose into the pool, and then you're like, oh, it's fantastically urinated in here.
No, but you can get some lawn chairs and throw them in there, and you can
That's-
play
that's
chess.
right, that's
you can
pretty
play like pool chess, which is pretty cool. It's not any different than regular chess. Let's just say
Pool
you're in a
chess.
pool.
It's just floating,
Yeah, it's-
basically.
it's a floating board
It's
that
like
they have.
It's like
exactly
chess,
the same game, but
except you're
floating.
distracted by tits a lot more.
yeah. And there's no timer.
I've never seen pool chess at
Pool
all.
chess, yeah.
That sounds fantastic. I'd play pool chess.
Yeah, we should come to Oak Bay Rec
It's
sometime,
pretty
bro.
good. It's pretty
Really? So it's just like a big squared off section, and you move pieces.
good. They used
But
to
not
have
for
that
you.
where you could move like big plastic pieces that were like half the size of a man, kind of thing. Like,
How
still
did you
have
know the
that
squares
off-
that you were on?
because they
though?
had like
Well, one
a
is white,
fold
one
out
is black.
See?
mat, yeah, with the
Oh,
squares.
you did it on
Kind
a
of how
mat.
chess works.
Yeah.
that?
Well, there's one white team and one black
One
team.
black. No, I mean, I'm wondering how the squares were marked out, but he was saying
just
as
like
a mat.
board would be. As
guys
it was
remember
fold-
Chinese
fold out.
checkers?
Oh, see, I was thinking they'd just float on the water,
You
and
ever
there was
play
like
Chinese
a
No,
checkers?
no, they
Cross
have. They did
section,
have that
rope
though.
section.
Start
thing
off
or
with a
No,
something.
that'd be
triangle.
cool. They cut the pieces down from like a small size to the rather large movable ones.
What do you guys think about the Ninja Turtles?
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
TMNT.
I'm too old to care anymore, I
That
guess.
won't work anymore, man.
Ingola Balabi.
And Michael Bay ruined everything else from my childhood, like Transformers.
He's supposed to have
So-
more helicopters than he's ever used before, though.
Well, I hope he all crashes them into
Michael
one
Bay,
another.
the destroyer of children's concepts.
No,
And
it's not his
worlds
fault. He didn't
of
fucking
Right
write
that
the
they
thing.
can make a Battleship movie too, like out of Milton Bradley's Battleship, the game.
Oh, really?
There's a Battleship movie
no fucking
coming
way.
out. Rihanna's in it.
Sweet.
And,
I hope the line "You sunk my battleship" is in there.
No, but
Oh,
Chris
God,
Brown
if
does
it's
beat the
not-
shit out of her.
Bitch, you my battleship.
With an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Shoot her out of a cannon.
That's really funny to me. Just picturing her being shot out of a cannon.
Weapons of ass destruction.
Because I picture that happening with her like music to it. It's much funnier that way.
So we went on
Okay,
chat roulette
Hilario.
for the
Oh
first
my.
time
Chat
last week.
roulette.
And if you haven't heard of chat roulette, I don't know what kind of rock you've
Try
been
it out
hiding
right
under.
now. Google it.
But it's just more or less a
A lot of people.
video chat that you
I
get
think
randomly
Eric Cartman
connected to
educated
other
me
people
on that
with.
before I got involved with it.
And we went on there, and it was seriously like a collection of the internet's saddest, funniest, smallest dicks I've ever seen. The highlight was a guy who was using his thumb and his index and middle finger, and that was all he could get on his fucking wang. And if nothing else, like
The 2-finger stroke.
chat roulette made me feel fantastic about my own dick. I'll tell you that much. And like, I don't know, like me and Alex probably saw like upwards of like 30 dudes jerking off, but they switch channels as soon as they see two dudes laughing at them as hard as they can and pointing at
laughing,
the camera.
falling out of our chairs laughing.
It was
pretty
unbelievably
funny.
funny.
Yeah. It was entertainment.
Chat roulette. Brought to you by Chat Roulette.
And me and Darcy saw a girl fingering herself, but she switched off after she turned around
Wait,
and
what?
didn't see any.
You saw a girl fingering
We
herself?
yeah,
did.
she
We
was
did.
totally
That's rare.
fingering
It's like
herself.
it's
That's
like
rare.
30
That's like a
dicks
gem.
and then some random shit and then one nice
30
pussy.
dicks to one pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say it's more rare than that. It's probably 1 out of 100.
Oh yeah, it was probably like
Well,
1 out of
it-
100.
I
Yeah.
think the
It
odds
was the
were
night, too.
in
It
our
was like
favor
a
that
late
evening.
Late Saturday
You know,
evening or
we
something.
bet on the
so-
Penguins and the Canucks and things didn't go our way, so they went
Like
our
if
way
you
that
never bet
evening.
on the
If you
Canucks.
log in during the day, you
Haters
you
wanna
probably get a lot less
hate.
dicks.
Lovers want love. Good
That's
season
just my
knuckles.
guess.
Sorry, what was that?
If you log in to chat roulette during the day on like a weekday, it's probably a lot less dicks than what we
No.
saw on a Saturday
It's all
evening.
dick.
Was
all
it
the
a
time.
Saturday night we were on that?
I think
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was.
There's-
I think it was
there's-
Friday.
And there was like
It's
you know,
mostly dick
it was
now.
it was a Friday because it was 420.
Chat
Yeah, I
roulette
remember
has
talking
been
to those
deemed
boys
as
in
mostly
Texas.
dick
Oh,
since
yeah,
like
yeah.
2000.
The only other normal people we
7,
saw
maybe
were this
8.
white guy and a black guy,
Dallas, Texas.
maybe similar ages to us, and they were just kicking it and
They were
laughing at
smoking weed.
people.
Yeah.
Laughing at people on chat roulette like we were, and we
Yeah.
kicked it with them for like a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was
We had,
like
like,
the
an
one
internet
group where we
bro-down
were
with
like,
them.
oh, okay, we can hang out.
It was kind of cool for a minute.
Yeah. So big
But
ups
not
to those
really.
guys, whoever they were.
You'd rather look at penises. Peni.
Yes, we had to get on
Multiple
to the next
peni.
dick
Chat roulette
immediately.
has been mostly dick for a long time though. Chat roulette's old.
It's weird
like
to
I'm
me.
saying, Eric Cartman, they
It's
did that
very-
on South
it's like-
Park. They
it's
just
like
like had
5
one where he
years
went
old.
on chat roulette and it was just like all dick, and then he got like one person he talked to and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" So yeah, that's
Well.
how he was my educator before we even experienced that
I
one.
didn't know about that episode. I haven't seen every South Park, but man, they're on point. A
Dude,
lot
those
of them
guys
are
have
on
like a
point.
musical right now too that's going on in
I
Broadway.
want to see that. I would.
I would
totally
love
go
to see it. They do so much. They've Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They're doing fucking just and they brought Kenny on board back in the day too, from Kenny versus Spenny, and he helped them write a lot of funny shit.
No shit.
Yeah,
Cool. You see that like 7 minutes or 7 days to air or something like that? It's like a documentary about how they get South Park on like episodes done and completed within a week. Like conceptualized,
No.
written, recorded, drawn.
but it's
everything
impressive,
in
and
a-
I'm sure
like
they do a
week.
lot of the voices too.
They're like and a lot of the voices. At the last minute, they're running to the studio with the finished tape with
Exactly.
to get it put
He
into the
was
satellite
there to make
distribution
a
system
movie.
at like the last hour.
He was there to make a
Crazy.
TV
They're
series.
just pulling all-nighters.
And together they made the South Park movie.
But I guess you have to do that to be that relevant all the time. You know, to have all those issues that are right on
It's
the cutting
social
edge.
commentary. It's
Yeah.
social commentary.
Yeah.
South Park is very adept about
And it's
that.
cool
That's
that you-
amazing. And they're like, it's great. Like the memeing episode, for example. You know, there's like T-bowing and all this fucking
Yeah.
shit and planking and whatever. And then they have Faith Hilling or something, and she's just like, he's just holding his T-shirt like nipples out.
And also they get away with anything too.
Yeah, of
They can
course.
pretty much do anything. This dog has done 1 million barrel rolls.
Barrel rolling dog.
Do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
Ba-ra-ra.
Do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
Now say that like you're a Korean Canadian.
Do a barrel roll.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Sacha Cohen?
Yes, it looks so
Movie?
good. The
Looks
Dictator.
pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Dictator. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's going to be good.
Looking forward to that.
The Dictator.
Might actually be funny.
Sacha
Yeah.
Baron
The
Cohen.
extended trailer showed a lot more about the plot and made it look better.
It looks a lot better.
It looked
It
better
looks,
than
it
I
looks
thought it was
fucking
going to
good,
be.
man.
Yeah.
It looks really fucking good.
So does that movie Ted about the talking teddy bear and Mark Wahlberg.
That one I don't know about. That one I think
I
is gonna
haven't
be shit.
decided.
I thought it looked pretty good.
The Family
well,
Guy.
It's like an updated version
Family
of the Beaver.
Guy, dude.
It could be a little bit on the
Not gonna
PG
be,
side
yeah.
of things.
No, it's not going to be PG
Yeah,
at all.
Mark
It's
Beaver
going to be
was
dirty
tight
as
'cause
shit.
Mel
but-
Is that
Gibson
right?
cuts
Oh,
his own
yeah.
arm off with the
Oh, you just think it'll be able to
bandsaw.
tie right?
I just think it's going to be really stupid.
That's like, aye.
Really, really stupid.
That's the way then.
But it's the Family Guy. Seth Rogen.
McFarlane.
Seth
MacFarlane,
MacFarlane.
yeah,
Sorry,
that's the
yeah.
one.
Seth. Who the hell is Seth
Is
Rogen?
he a Scotsman?
Seth
MacFarlane.
Rogen is the guy from Knocked Up.
Yeah, he's a big goofy looking
okay.
dude.
Rogan's the one. He's the
All these
Canadian.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth
Green.
MacFarlane does a lot of the comedy roasts too.
Host
He's
of
the
Like, he gets
Vancouver, right?
around.
Seth Rogen actually has brought
Fucker gets
like,
around.
some great
gets-
films.
he
right?
gets a fucking
Celebrity
around.
whore.
You know, like 2 primetime cartoon shows. Fucking
Gonna 3D print his ass out.
Perfecto.
print some money with a 3D printer.
There you
Bobby
go. Could we
Digital.
counterfeit money? See, that's got to be difficult
Probably
to do.
the new
Dude.
money because our new Canadian money is
We should just
plastic.
print some.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna print some
plastic-based.
sets. Like I want to print some.
3D print some sets.
Yeah, 3D print.
I'm
some,
gonna
like,
print sunglasses,
things that I can
bitch.
project onto. You know,
Make some
like a
Ray-Bans.
surface.
You're gonna be
Like
sick.
Yeah.
Escher. Like if you look at all the layers of
Come down to my 3D printed
perspective
sunglass
in
hut.
something like Escher, and you can translate that into
Set it right next to the beach.
a
What kind of
lighting
design
display.
do you want?
An hour or
Aviators?
less. An hour
Yeah.
or less. You just gotta wait for them to print
It'll
out.
be more like stairs. It'd be like stairs.
You
like
got some.
What the fuck are you talking
You
about?
got some
Darcy?
plastic
like
bottles. I
creating
He
a
doesn't know.
visual like
he has no idea what he's talking
carping
about.
something that you can project onto that has a dimension like a perspective change on it like
Okay.
creating a set. Oh yeah, creating a set.
But
People
on
would
a
walk
3D
into
printer,
that, bro.
we gotta
Yeah, that's where you utilize the 3D printer for it. You're
Making
bringing
like a
another
giant
dimension to
bro.
that.
set.
You
Making
don't
like a
3D
giant
print
3D
walls
set.
quite yet, bro.
Yeah,
like the way
I 3D
like
print?
okay, have you seen
Fuck
you
you.
seen like Amon Tobin's ISAM or DJ Shadow's show like their tours what they're doing right now? Basically
Yes,
like
But I'm
building
lying.
a stage
fountain
that
work.
uses LED screen and,
going
and
really heavy with the
perspective as well as
fountains?
pieces of carped
More water.
staging that are used to project on.
Master fountainry.
Sure, master.
They do a lot of
fucking-
3D projection these days, and they map it out in the computer, and then the computer maps the image around the 3D model that it's
Yeah,
projecting
mapping
on.
is something that I would like to.
Dude,
learn.
you should get into projecting holograms. I think it's going to be big.
You can bring anyone back.
Holograms are the future.
They must
Alex
be,
Klein.
though. Where do you go after 3D TVs? Holograms, bro.
Definitely.
Because
You're
you don't
absolutely
need
right.
shitty
Holograms.
fucking glasses.
Smoke and
Oh,
mirrors.
but you-
We all know
But
it's been,
holograms
it's
is
been
just smoke and
holograms
mirrors.
all this time.
It's just smoke and mirrors. It's nothing old. It's nothing new.
This is
It's
the-
always been holograms. Remember in the arcade back in the day, they had that
I never
one
had
with the little-
holograms.
The little bitch who was about as tall as a beer can, and she'd be running around like, "Save me, save me!" And this other guy would come from the other
The
side. and it was-
gunslinger.
Yeah, it was like a video. Yeah, it was like a video game, but it was in space, kind of fantasy.
It was a hologram.
Yeah, it was holographic
No, I
video
don't-
game.
Can
Don't
someone
know.
explain
Sold.
holographic technology to me? Do you guys know how
It's
this works?
pretty simple.
I think it's just projecting an image.
Yeah, and bouncing it off a mirror into space above it that can be contained with mist.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
right.
the smoke
okay.
or
That's
some
what
sort
I
of
was saying. What's the
particle.
projection surface? Because
It's the surface, I guess. Yeah.
so you have to have
It's
something
glass
to.
or
It's no, it's
something.
probably a mist.
It's a
because
three-dimensional
spray.
surface.
No, the one they used at the show, I think. Was
I don't know
a
about
water
Coachella.
mist
It's usually three-dimensional,
was a water mist.
like a mist.
Yeah.
instead of smoke.
The first time I saw
Yeah.
that was actually in Thailand on a screen for like a war reenactment where they had this like old general from one of the armies, and there was like this huge spray of water going out, and they were firing
General
projections
Tsao?
on it. I don't know who it was. It was
King
a war
Tao.
bridge, Kanchanaburi. But the fact that they were having this huge mist as their projection screen surface looked amazing. It was fucking really cool, and it totally had the like grainy old school like effect to it, and it really added to the experience.
Well,
It was really cool.
holographic movie theaters would be the bomb.
Fuck yeah, man.
That'd be dope. I'm ready for it. I'll have a panic attack in a movie theater and a holographic theater.
I want to go see Avengers.
I don't know
in
if that would
IMAX.
work because everyone would have. It'd be like theater in the round. Someone would get a shitty vantage point.
Fuck them. Should have got there earlier, bro.
It's true. There'd be the cheap sheets.
I
No,
waited
there's
in
that
line
today.
and
There's
the
that today.
45
It's called the cheap
minutes.
seats. It's
Yeah.
called like being
But there always
the
is
first
that, so I
row
guess-
in Sins when you're going to watch Sin City with all your bros on opening night, and you have to sit in the first row because you got there super late. But that's fucking hard to do. To sit in the very front row of a movie theater.
Not
That's
if you go to
very
Silver
visual.
City. Those new ones now, they're fine.
They're
Silver
okay.
City's okay. Yeah.
You know what's more
Yes, you can
popular
have a
lately
beer,
too?
No, I'm good.
At Silver
Yeah.
City, they're doing more like live concerts. So I think even Kevin Smith had one where it was broadcast like in 20 or 30 different cities in the world, but he was just actually in one place, but working a crowd, doing a show, doing his evening with Kevin Smith type deal. But there was this one night, like a couple months ago, we could have gone, and they were doing this whole live act thing projected right into the theaters as it was happening. So that's become more
Not
popular too.
holographic, just a
Not
sort of
it's
live projection.
Obviously not holographic yet, but
This
what
would
I'm
be cool though because as
eventually,
it's
yeah.
happening, it's
Yeah.
live for everyone.
exactly.
Even though I guess there's
you
probably a
won't
bit
know.
of a delay.
It's
but
like which
yeah.
one is the real Kevin Smith? Well, I don't know till I throw a pen at
fat
him or
one.
something. Like
No, he's not fat. He probably lives in L.A., so he's
One
got a
with the
personal
beard.
trainer now.
no. He's
Or is
still
Kevin
fat.
Smith the guy who's like, no, fuck you, L.A., I'm not taking the personal
He
trainer?
doesn't change for anybody. I like that guy.
Is he from Vancouver?
No, he did film school.
Or he just
up
went to
there.
VFS?
He's from like New Jersey or something.
Right,
He's from
right,
like
right,
the States,
right,
but
yeah.
he loves Canada and he loves hockey, and he
Yeah.
fucking went to VFS and funded a lot of his movie. One of his producer buddies, Canadian Scott Mosier.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my
pretty sure he
stomach
is.
is playing some Hunger Games, dog.
He's saying that all
Yo,
week.
Kiro,
Have you guys
Taco
seen that?
Bell.
Rosie Perez isn't in Hunger Games.
Is
It's
it
my new
out?
catchphrase.
Is that movie out yet?
Yeah, I've pirated
Hunger
it.
Games?
good?
Yeah, it's out.
I don't
Well,
care
out
for
of 5.
I'd probably get it.
five,
It'll leave
I've
you
never seen
hungry
it.
for
Out of
more
10.
plot.
Out of 10, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Really?
Really? That's high. That's
7
a
out
high
of 10.
rating.
That is pretty
'Cause
high. That
I
is
know
pretty
about-
high.
I'd say like 7 out of 10 for
7
a
out of
PG
10?
movie.
Really?
I mean, it's
Really?
not.
So yours is a little lower than
It's
ours?
not
I
gonna-
haven't seen it.
It's not going to blow your mind, but it's not
You
going to.
can't rate it then if you
I
haven't
can't
fucking
rate
seen
it, but I'm saying so
I
it's not
watched
going to
it
be a
playing
high
Motion
rating
too,
for a piece
so.
of shit movie that nobody should go see
does
and
look
spend
like
their money
shit.
on.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen Battle Royale, then they know that it's already been done before, better in a more hardcore way
Battle Royale was a
by the
remake.
Japanese like 15 or 20 years ago.
When are they going to redo Shogun? They need
Never.
That-
Probably won't get the funding for
Is
it.
that a movie?
Dude, they could do an HBO series.
They
of
should
Shogun.
do.
It would be
I'm
awesome.
sick
I'd
of-
It would be
love to see that
I'm
amazing.
sick
shit.
of the fucking
It's a-
like medieval UK.
It's
Fuck
like-
it.
yeah,
I've
but
seen
they-
it so
I'm
much
just
of
saying,
that.
like-
Winter's coming.
Who?
And
Why
even
has no one
Rome
from
and-
Shogun gone to HBO
Go
and
to
been
the
like,
Far
let's do a
East.
series like you've done a Game of Thrones?
Captain
Let's
Probably
make it.
Thorn.
because there isn't a producer that wants to make it yet.
Yeah.
Gary
well,
Bruckheimer.
I guess I got a project ahead of me.
No, somebody will get on it.
Jerry
They have to,
Bruckheimer.
like-
Remember
No one's
when
gonna
him
do
and
that.
Travolta were in
It's not gonna
Victoria?
happen.
I want to see
They're
the
at
scene
a
with the
screening of one of their
Harigata.
movies.
It's not going to happen.
Travolta was
If
in
you know the
Victoria
word-
and he was at
if you know
the Capital
Japanese,
6 downtown.
Hey, shut up! I'm talking about harigatas.
Fuck Harigata, man.
Do you remember what a harigata is from Shogun?
That's what you do with it, I
What's
think.
harigata?
Dildo, yeah.
What
it's
is
like
it?
it's like a fleshlight.
A harigata for a
What is
chick.
it?
Dildo.
Oh.
There's a scene where this Japanese woman's like, "Hey, Englishman, check out all the sex toys we got."
Yeah, and he's never seen
Yeah,
any of that
it-
shit before.
he's like, yeah. There's like a whole box.
Oh, he was kind of blown away by this.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Westerner was
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The highest priced
guys are
concubine in all the lands.
sexually advanced.
She had the stash.
Kiku.
Kiku.
Kiku-chan.
Kiku-san.
Yeah, no, that book was really cool. What an
They're
epic
never gonna
story.
make
James
a popular
Clavell,
TV
right?
series. And
James Clavell. They made
Kiku-san.
it. It was done in the
They
past.
did it.
Where?
They
When?
made it in
If
the
you-
80s. NBC made one in
How,
the
long-
80s.
is
how
it
popular
80s?
was it?
I don't know. I haven't seen the
You
video.
can know
the
it's like a
series.
6-part.
I've
I
never
would-
heard of it.
Yeah, I would always see it in the movie.
six-part
in the
I
would love
store.
to find that
Six-part,
on a
like
torrent.
huge book, just like it looked like
So
a
it's
bigger version.
Not that I
It's shit.
downloaded
Probably
It's like a
pretty
shit
rough copy.
miniseries
I
that
do
they
pay
made.
for my
Yeah, I don't think they had the
media.
money.
That's the
for
problem. It's never going to be
scope.
a series because it doesn't involve white actors.
Yeah,
That's
well-
the problem.
Well, it gets one.
That's
or
it.
Two. No, it gets one.
The main character is white. Good
Yeah.
enough
Yeah,
for most
okay, I
white
Four
guess
out of
so.
10.
I guess
Four
so.
out of 10.
But
Well, this I
it's
can
like-
identify highly with
it's-
this.
they're
since
all-
centered around me.
either we're gonna have to hire all like Asian people, or you're gonna get used to British accents as samurais, and it's bullshit. It's like when you see Rome and they all have British fucking
They
accents.
just gotta do
it's
Japanese
like crap.
accents because they're funny and charming.
Yeah, that'll be great. That much-
And then when the guys talk, it's always really
Wouldn't it
like
be funny
angry.
if
and-
Rome was just full of people with stereotypical Italian accents? Julius Caesar, what are you doing to me?
Hey, what are you talking about?
No, that's like
Like Matt
that's
LeBlanc.
Italian American.
Italiano.
Hey, yo!
Italiano para fare
Hey, let's go
miliara.
get some gabagool.
Molacine.
Come on.
A San
Aye.
Patilla.
Hey, when you're here,
Goal.
your family. All right, so let's just cut the last minute and a half of that and get on
Easily.
to the next thing.
What's next?
I think it's
Rating time.
Rating
so
each
Ben
other.
conceived of a fucked up way to give us stats, sort of like the back of the old action
We need a
figure
really cool
boxes.
name for this.
Yeah, this segment.
your
needs
friends.
It's going to be West Coast
We need to get it
Highlife
to be-
episode 8. The guys rate each other.
The guys rate. Guys get rated.
called power rankings.
Yeah, and then when we have guests in,
Power
we can have
rankings,
them
yeah.
rank us too.
Power ranking.
This is the WC Highlife Power Rankings right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking thing like this in my fucking life.
You want to explain something?
So basically, I've devised a system in 5 categories, being looks, intelligence, personality, ballin', morals.
Say them again.
I should have said
Say
and
them again.
morals.
Say the categories again.
Yeah.
One more time.
Morals
One more
have
time.
never been part of ballin'.
One more
but
time. One more
that's
time.
cool if they
Let's
are.
hear those categories
Looks,
again.
intelligence, personality, ballin', and morals.
So explain each one just for a second here. Just
well,
give
no
us a-
explanation necessary.
No,
is
really?
there?
Okay. I was
Except for maybe ballin'.
Ballin' is just our ball. Yeah.
Done.
okay.
Perfect.
Live lavishly, drink deeply of alcohols, and,
Yeah.
and get women.
Okay. And that's and we're
Your generosity.
but we're not rating our whole our whole time on Earth here. We're just talking about right now how we're rating ourselves. It's a current rating.
This is a current rating.
So this can change from month to month.
It's ephemeral.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Set in
Did you
stone.
just
Set in
call
stone.
Did you just call me gay, bro?
you Myron, bro?
Yes, I did. Ephemeral.
Boosh.
It's a 3-syllable word for homosexuality.
Ephemeral.
You Myron?
All right. Well, let's start with you then, Alex.
All right, so I rated myself a 7 for looks because I think there's room for some improvement, but I'm not unapproachable or unfuckable. And as far as intelligence goes, I know things like deoxyribonucleic acid, so I gave myself an 8 for intelligence. Personality also an 8 because I'm on this show with these dickheads.
You are the-
Ballin', not so much at this moment in time. I mean, I have a steady girlfriend and I'm going to school and stuff, but it's leaving me largely broke. So I'm not balling too hard. I'm driving a 91 Civic.
So what's your score on ballin'?
I gave myself a 5. And morals, morality, it definitely would go down if I was drunk like anybody else. But in general, I say I have some pretty high morals and ethics, and I can be tempted by the dark side at times. So I gave myself a 6.5 for a total of 34.5 out of 50, or a B- human being.
A B-. Not too shabby.
Well done there.
It's pretty good.
Okay, reactions. Mark, we'll start with you.
I'm blown away. I'm speechless. That's
Well, let's just go.
I don't
down
know what
by
to say.
what
My
scores
reactions
are-
happened.
What scores are you giving, Alex?
This is how the game works.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Apparently,
Okay.
yes.
Holy
You give yourself a score, then everyone else gives you a score.
Holy shit.
It brings you back down to earth.
Back down to
And just to
reality.
recap, what was your
Okay.
look score, Alex?
I gave myself a 7. Yeah, because I'm aesthetic.
Now, just give me a second. Let me get into my homosexual self here.
The objective.
Channeling. I'll give you a 7.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
Nice.
I guess
nice.
you weren't on
Can
chat.
I get an
7.5.
8?
7.5 with looks.
7.
Intelligence. It's a big one. That's a tough one. That's I don't know.
Got to it, man.
8. What did you say?
I said 8.
Shit.
We're on. No,
Same
it's
thing.
good.
We're on
That's-
par.
That means
Personality.
Wait a minute. Are we doing ourselves right now?
No, we're doing Alex
I'm
right
doing
now. You're
Alex.
not paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm sort of
I
following.
get to rate
but-
everybody.
Yes.
We
You
should
don't
all
get your turn.
You don't get a turn.
So it's gonna
'Cause
go.
you're first.
It's going to go to Mark next.
Okay.
He'll rate himself, and then Darcy will start. I will.
Okay, I'm just gonna let this game play
All
out.
right,
'cause I
carry
don't-
on. So
Her personality is a 15 out of 10.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So many Santa Claus with the ranking
Holy
marks
shit!
over here.
That's gonna put me in the bonus round.
Really? Are you guys doing math? Because I'm just making this up as I go. Ballin'.
You got to write it
Shit,
down.
I'm gonna
though.
go with 2.
You got to write it down.
I'm gonna go
2.
with 2. Oh, I
Two.
haven't been writing this down.
He
You gotta
knows
write
I'm
down your
broke.
scores.
He knows I'm
Ooh.
drinking the Coastal Cream Ale.
No,
I don't
dude, you
have
got
it
to write
ready.
it down.
I'm
gotta-
going
we gotta
against-
When you're
calculate
in the
scores
shower,
for
you're
you
in
to see who
7:15
wins.
mode.
That is
Just
far
keep
too
track of it.
complicated for me.
Oh, that's a lot.
I'll
of,
just start at what did I say for personality? 6?
15.
Okay, we'll go with 6. So you're at a total of 6
You
right
just,
now.
you just realized this is game was
and
for keeps here.
Ballin', yeah, no, Ballin's low. I haven't seen you ball. You're going with a 2.
Ain't no ball.
Morals. I don't really know your morality.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really know any of you fucks, so I'm just gonna go with a 4.
Abstained.
I'm gonna stay safe,
doesn't
which
trust
gives
me.
you a total of
Safe.
12.
Abstain.
Not bad. 12 out of 50. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Did you fill in the first 3?
No, I missed the first 2.
Oh.
Well, you got to fill them in, bro.
Well,
Z-
you
survey says.
What did I say for looks?
0.
7.5?
Yeah, and then you taught
7.5.
You just said the same thing for intelligence. You said 8.
7.5 for intelligence, which makes 15. So you add 15 to that, and you got yourself 27. Not bad.
Okay, I passed.
Yeah. What's oh yeah, out of 50. That's right. Shit.
I just barely passed.
Squeaked by there, Alex. Christ.
All right, let's hear it, Darcy.
All
What
right,
are your
AK.
What are your ratings for Alex?
He's
Sir
getting all
Alex.
serious looking on me.
On looks.
Like this is judgment
Like-
day, bro.
Like I see, I give you big ups because you're rocking the Singha underneath.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
But
You
I've never been to
you
Thailand.
you
so
ain't
not
been to
wrong.
Thailand yet, so you know I'm gonna give
Thanks,
you
sis.
I'm gonna give you a 7.75.
Ooh.
Write it down.
7 3/4.
Write it down.
Nice.
Write it down. Write it down.
Those high 7s.
7.75. Inteligente. Comprende cuando tú hablas contigo.
Yes, I understand what you're speaking.
All right.
Ooh, that's gonna add
I'll
to
give
the
you
intelligence.
an 8 on your intelligence.
Yeah, no doubt.
Personalidad. Are you good with the people, man? You good with the people?
Hey.
All right.
I'm a people person.
We'll give you on the people push. I'll give you a 6.5.
All right. Let's pass.
On the bowling, you were getting a 2.
I'm surprised you didn't rate me lower. But you already
Minus
said
2.
You already said 2.
Scores
You're
are
getting a
subject to
minus
change.
2, so that's actually a 4. No, that's a minus 4.
You don't know
morals.
integers.
Morals. Okay.
Minus 3 points, Darcy. Intelligence.
No, we can't do mine. Okay, that's a minus 6.
For what?
Oh, why?
No, I gave you a 4 on the morals and a minus 2, so we're doing some rental
plus 4.
articulate.
Oh, minus
Did
4.
you add it all up?
No, I haven't added you up yet.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like 20 something.
Okay, let's keep this moving.
So we got.
It's almost a pass, but not quite. I was doing it in my head, which is definitely inaccurate.
I think it was
I'm just
lower
gonna
than
give you
25.
a 30 out of 50. You're
So
not even
you're
gonna
gonna
add it up.
pass
I've
me
just
with a
decided
B?
to give you a
Greater
You
30.
guys
than
are just
30.
fucking sweethearts.
How can you not do the math
with
here?
the
Yeah.
marks here?
What? I barely passed him.
Okay.
How is that sweetheart?
Well, it's supposed to be realistic, and I'm
No, it's not.
I'm obviously.
Oh, it's.
I'll be
supposed to
honest with you.
realistic.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not gonna.
In that
add this
case, I
up,
change
so I'll do it
everything.
legitimately.
All right, Alex, I got you for a 6.5 for looks.
Okay.
And I'm going to justify that by saying you got a good looking face, but you're not aesthetic.
Oh shit.
you're a lighter guy.
Working on that, bro.
Yeah. Intelligence, 7. Solid 7.
Okay.
You know more about business than I do, but not nearly as much as I do about sports. Personality, 2.
That must be why you hang out with me.
Well, I listen to podcasts a lot more than I hang out with you.
Okay.
Point
taken.
Ballin, a 2 because you did give me some beers and you have an iPhone S. Your morals, I gave you an 8 for morals because you've always been a trustworthy friend and you haven't fucked me over ever. So that's where the 8 goes.
Sweet. I think I
Extra
passed.
bonus points.
No,
with
you're
the morality.
23.5.
Oh.
And you got
Shit.
29.75
Just about,
from me.
Just about.
Do I get an IP then, like in progress, or do I get an automatic fail?
Well, I don't know.
We shouldn't
In
assign letter
progress.
figure it
ratings.
out.
In
We'll figure it
progress.
out.
Letter ratings are shitty.
you're up next,
29.75
Mark.
from Decrace.
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I
see
still
here.
passed you, though.
First category, looks. I gave myself a 6.6 just because I liked the way that sounded.
Ooh, devilish.
6.6. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going with. Intelligence, I was on 5 because there's a lot of people smarter than me and there's a lot of people dumber than me. So I figure I'm right in the middle. Personality, I gave myself a 10 squared because I'm
Boom.
fucking awesome. Ballin is a 0.5. Not too sure what that
0.5?
calculates out. No, 0.5,
Oh, okay.
which is half a 0.
Oh. If you're having 0.
And what's the last one here? Oh, morals. I'm amoral, so it's a 0 or a 10. Could go either way, which puts me at about 112 or 122.
Out of 50? Wait a minute, dog. Was this out of 10 on each category?
That 10 squared really threw me
The
for a
10
loop.
squared really fucking, that added an extra 100 right there.
Boom. Boom. 10 squared.
Well, my
All right,
personality
Darcy,
is
reactions.
All right, Mr. Markovi. Looks, he calls himself a 6.6. I'll give him a 6.5.
Ooh.
This.
It's harsh. Coming from such an attractive man.
Such a hardcore. Intelligente. I'll give you an 8.
8.
Yeah.
So your test for intelligence is
Oh, my
comprehension of Spanish.
No, my test for
It is. That's the test that he does
It's
on you.
actually, if you
I
guys,
was lucky
if
with
you hear,
Ocho.
if
8.
you
Boom.
hear this guy
Got
talk,
it.
he knows about a lot of shit, man. I don't think like you're not an encyclopedia knowledge, but
God,
you
no.
have a lot of good information in there, man. So
And a lot
I
of
know you
crap.
got the Ocho. Oh, yeah,
All right.
good and the bad. Personality.
Yeah, this is the important one.
Ooh, oh, personality. You gave yourself a 10.
Squared.
10. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to bring you back to reality. We're gonna give you a 5 on personality.
Damn.
Because Cheese Whiz does add personality, but
Cheese
You don't have any
Not
here.
enough. Not enough. I fucking
if
I
you had
hate-
Cheese
I
Whiz,
hate
I'd give you a
Cheese
10
Whiz.
out of
Oh, I
10.
fucking hate that shit.
Dude, put it on a hot dog. I got top dogs. I just bought top dogs from my house, and I
It
got
would
made fun
definitely
of,
help
so.
my personality out, though.
Cheese Whiz. Ballin. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna give you. Where's your bling? Do you have any
0
bling
and
in
a
here?
third.
Do you have any bling in here?
No.
Yeah.
I have a guitar.
How do we? Is bling ballin? Is that strictly straight up like?
Ballin can include possessions as well.
What is my blingiest bling?
Yeah, like I
Maybe
have
your
an iPhone
console?
S.
the
That's
console.
what gave you the
Mackey's-
extra
Mackey.
point.
That's
You got
that's
some
not
bling,
even very
man.
bling.
Yeah.
I have a PlayStation, but it doesn't work.
No,
That ain't balling.
Before PlayStation failure, it was a 7. Now it's gone down to a 6. So I'm sorry. You're only balling at a 6 level.
on the ballin'. I'll take that. I'll take that any day.
And your morals, I'm going to give you a 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fair.
Because you're
That's
immoral.
fair.
You must have some
Right?
insider information that we don't
Mark's
know.
just, I don't know. He's all over the shop, man.
All right, Mark. For looks, I'll agree with you. You're a 6.6.
6.6.
Yeah. Intelligence, I actually give you a pretty high mark there. I give you an 8
Ooh.
because I think
Ocho.
the quality of your information is usually good.
But the amount?
Whether it's relevant
Yeah.
is a completely
No,
different
it's trivial.
thing. But I can
I know
trust
so much
that
trivial shit,
most of
it's
what's
true.
coming out of your mouth is true.
Okay.
Personality, 2. I didn't call
Yes.
you Mark Dry as a bone hovey last podcast for nothing.
I liked that one. That and the haberdasher, though.
Haberdasher was pretty good.
Okay.
Ballin', 3.
Ooh.
You have this apartment.
Highest.
You
Ooh.
gave me a beer. You own stuff.
All right.
There it is. And
Thank you.
morals.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with the 7
Hey.
because you've never done anything that I've been opposed to, either on the positive or negative side. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
Wait and see what your moral score is, and then see what a 7 actually means. You know what I mean? Because if your moral score with all of us is like a 3,
We're gonna tally these up.
then
and
a
put them
7
online,
from you.
right?
Yeah,
Actually
I'm,
kinda means a
I'm
lot.
tabulating
Well,
right
I mean,
now.
I'm saying just based on my own experiences between you and Alex, like having never fucked me over, and
I don't know you long. I haven't known you long
and
enough,
just
though.
generally
Probably.
being true to your word.
Yeah.
Right.
My word is dear to me.
So you got a 26.6.
Sick.
You passed.
What was? I didn't add up your tally there, Darce.
Just a sec. I'm adding yours.
So far.
That's okay. We got grand total sheet right
Adding,
here.
what is it? 13.
There's a grand total sheet. We can put everything down on.
Hovey, I give you a 26.5.
6.5. Yeah.
I give Klein a 29. You got 3 more points.
I passed. It's an all pass.
That's fucked up.
But you passed as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So am I going or?
Darcy's up. Oh no.
I gotta say,
Yeah, you got it. You get to comment on Mark.
Mark. Yeah. All right, Mark. I'm gonna give you a little bit higher of a score than you gave yourself for looks because of your sweet haircut. I like that fade.
Well, thank you.
Pretty cool fade. So 6.8.
Boosh.
Intelligence, I think you think about a lot of the same stuff as I do, and you generally have better quality sources. So I'm going to give you 7.5.
Wikipedia.
Personality, I'm going to give you a 5. I don't know you well enough yet, but
Yeah, that's high.
we're going to get more podcasts in, so I think I'll get to know you more, and that score could fluctuate. But you don't want to lose any points in that realm. Ballin, definitely an 8 because you seem like a self-secure bachelor with your own pad and all this crazy gear. Morals, I don't really know you, but I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. So I gave you an 8. I actually scored you pretty high for that. So I don't know what that total is.
Jesus.
But I'll run that.
Number 1.
I'll run that through my calculator on my iPhone 4S.
Ballin'.
Siri, what is the addition for this particular equation?
Darcy.
Darcy's next.
All right. So for looks, I doubled down and I went for an 11 on this one. Yeah, I'm a little
You
full of my
realize this
shit,
isn't a scale
so-
of 20, right?
Yeah, man.
That's 10.
I'm point 1.
This isn't like take your score and add 6.
Yeah, it is. In all humble natures of my own self, would I double down? Yes, I would, just like I did last episode. Intelligentes, I'm gonna say a 7, a 7 for me on intelligence because I'd like to say that I can be multilingual and my talents come in more in the written and spoken language than in like a mathematic equation kind of sense. But that's where my intelligence lies, and I like to think that I can conversate and keep it on the same level with all my homies right here on the WestCoast Highlife. So. Holla at that. For the personality, I'll give myself an 8, which is an 8. At times I can be a little off the deep end, but most of the time I keep my shit calm and collected. So I like thinking on that scale. And for ballin', it depends. Do you define ballin' as like getting women, or do you define ballin' as having possession and shit?
It's both those things.
Then I'd put myself in between an 8 and a 5, so I'd have to say probably somewhere at like a 6.5. 7, sure. 7 on the ballin'. And then for my morals, I'm gonna go with 6 because 6 and 6 again, like Hovey's spoken to already, is a very kind of like demonic possession in a lot of ways. And when I graduated from university, was on 666 as well. It's really kind of fucking weird in that sense too. So I have these strange connections with numbers, and
And the devil.
the
Should talk to
Diablo.
Jim Carrey about that, bro.
And my facial, I'm working on facial contortions like Jim now, and we're doing lessons once a month kind of thing. He's flying up to Vancouver. I'm meeting him
Self-defense
there.
lessons with the rubber face.
Yeah, he's showing me how he did his. He was inspired by his whole like Fire Marshal Bill, and that I could go take this vein and just do it, But we didn't quite get there. That's in the next sort of phase. But as a total for that shit, I need someone else to do the math because I haven't counted it yet. But I'm going to pass the phone over to Mike on the left and say, hey, Fudge, talk to your Mike. What's
All
your
right.
rating tonight,
All
motherfucker?
right, well, since I've known you for over half of my life,
Yeah.
and I'm going to start, looks off 4. I mean,
Oh, shit.
you're an okay-looking guy, but you look like you could be in the Holocaust because you're like emaciated. You're not aesthetic, bro.
Aesthetic.
Intelligence, I give you a 2, because most of what I hear is a lot of rambling. A lot
Ramble
of
on,
rambling.
bro.
Personality, I'd say an 8, though. you can definitely hang out with most people and get along pretty well. Ballin', 2.
What?
Everything we're all drinking on credit right now.
Drinking all credit.
And
yeah.
morals, like I said, I've known Darcy for half my life. 0. 0. He's a
That's
cutthroat
whopping
individual.
0. I missed all that. but
Really?
I don't think it should be very easy.
Okay.
And
Tough
he
enough.
doesn't add that
he doesn't
one up.
mind
Damn,
on
Fudgy.
stepping on
That's-
somebody's
that was
head
about
to get
10.
to get what he wants sometimes.
Perhaps. Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Grand total of 16.
16.
Damn, yo.
That is not. That's pretty good.
Yo, you need to.
Oh, it's a good thing you rated me before I rated you. Is all I guess I could say.
He's crossing out a lot of shit right
No, I haven't even written in anything yet, but it's all
my
about
own scores.
it's all about
All right.
like jaded,
And why?
jaded.
Hey, D, I gotta-
Here we go.
I gotta do this now.
Yeah,
So,
do it up.
I know you're pretty popular with the ladies, so I gave you a 7.5. I was gonna rate you higher, but then Ben reminded me of your weak endurance type athlete body, and you could improve those aesthetics if you hit the gym up. Intelligence, I gave you. I don't know what this number is. I think I tried to give you a 5, and then it ended up being 6.
Yeah,
So-
I got a 6.
I'm giving you a 6.
5.
Personality, I'm giving you an 8 because you seem to be able to get along with a lot of different types of people.
Doing well in the personality category, I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's 16 out of a possible 20 so far.
That's like my my
this
trump
one
card
might be a
category.
little. This one might be a little controversial, but I gave you a 8 for ballin' because you're always kind of. I know I can always rely on you to spot me for a beer or whatever if I'm broke. So I'm giving you that. Morals, definitely not higher than a 5. So
Hey, that's a 5. That's
I
a
had to
start.
think. I had to think. How could I really realistically rate this? And I decided somewhere in between 0 and 5. So 3. would
All
fit the
right,
bill.
that's all right. That's like
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Thought you could improve as a moral human being.
Mis Morales.
So here, I need to add that up too, but it's gonna be a low mark.
Is it a pass?
It's probably a pass.
Ooh, might be a 25. We'll see.
25. Should I
Yeah, go ahead.
Go Hubs.
fill in here? Okay. Looks. First category. Darcy, I'm giving you a 12. The extra 2 points
Yeah, buddy.
are for those 2 blue eyes of yours.
Thanks, bro.
Gorgeous.
it.
Intelligence, I just drew a picture of a fish.
Fuck.
Personality.
Damn it.
is
Wait, no.
9.
Does a fish, is it like 1 or 2?
No, it's equivalent to the intelligence
No,
of a
it's
fish.
So a fish would be like a 1 on the scale of
It's subjective. Like you don't
right?
know.
Could a fish get
Let's
a
just
1?
move on to
According to my score,
personality,
you're 4
Okay.
times
Which
smarter
is
than
a
any fish.
9 because you are damn good at making friends. You are a personable son
I'll be
of a
doing
bitch.
like 5 fish
Ballin',
on mine.
I put an 8. What the hell?
Wow.
Hey, that's
Got an
pretty
8.
good for balling.
I ain't very balling.
Have you? Yeah, that's not bad.
I got me
Anyways,
a projector.
and for morals, I have the Roman numeral V, which is 5.
Orale.
I'd like
Right in
to.
between.
I'd like to say
I agree
I've
with that.
changed my score from 2 to 7 in light of everyone else's answers.
Yeah, balling was definitely skewed. I mean, Darcy supports himself. He always makes time to go on a trip or buy himself an HD
Yeah,
projector.
he's a mover and a shaker. He's always doing something. He's always doing something.
Well,
The morals are still a 0.
You're
though.
even using
That's
his
cool.
bicycle to ride around everywhere.
This is true.
Which brings me to my point. My ballin should have been slightly higher because of the Xbox that I lent you.
I never play it anymore.
Fuck you.
It's useless to me.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Why
I
some
love
new
how that like
games?
incurs another number towards it. You're like, I get another point.
Yeah, I should have got a point. But
So
anyways.
I haven't really been keeping track. We have to do Ben, I guess, next, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So for looks, I give myself an 8.75. Right there. That's all. That's all I need to do.
How many inches are those, bro?
I don't know how big my arms are, but they're incredibly aesthetic. For intelligence, I gave myself a 10. My rapier sharp wit and my ability to learn stuff good automatically gives me a 10.
Okay.
Personality, another 10. Probably the funniest person you've ever listened to or know. And everyone loves me. Ballin'. This is okay. I've given myself a 0/7 because 0, I don't ball very often, but when I do have money, I'm more than happy to take my friends out to dinner.
You
get
gotta
them in clubs.
You gotta rate yourself right
and then
now,
bang
bro.
chicks.
You gotta rate yourself for tonight.
All right, 0. And morals, I took an honest look at myself. I gave myself a 1 originally because, like, I've done some shady things. But because of that honesty, I bumped it up to a 10.
Did you just tell me you had a 10 morals?
Yep.
Wow.
That's for honesty.
Pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
45.75.
Well, that's funny because I gave you a minus 10 for morals, and so that'll balance out. Under ballin', I gave you a 2 because that does represent your current state. Personality, I rated you generally high. You're gonna like your 9 on that one because I did get told by the last chick we were at a party with that that my friend was really funny. So I'm gonna give you that 9 for that. Intelligence. By the way, I said I didn't even know who you were. Because I didn't know if she was gonna like complain about you. Complain about you or tell me that she hated that guy.
in tinfoil at this party.
Yeah, your balls were wrapped in tinfoil, literally hanging outside of your jeans. So at that point, I really didn't want to associate myself with you. Intelligence, I gave you a 6 for wrapping your balls in tinfoil. And for looks, I gave you a 6.2 because you're just not as aesthetic or shredded as me.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah.
Carry on with the
my
rating.
turn. Sorry.
Okay, Yeah,
it's your
ratings.
turn, Hobie.
Ratings. Moving on from 2 Ben. Let's see. Looks. I gave you 7, but that's because it is the last prime number between 0 and 10, and you are prime. Intelligence. I don't have a number yet. Now I'm thinking of a number in my
Eagle?
head. What is it?
Can you write an eagle down?
What's the number in my head?
15.
Close. I'm gonna go with 12. Because he was really close. Because I was thinking of 27. So hey, you're almost there.
Hey.
Personality. I put a 9 because you're fucking hilarious. Ballin'.
Yes.
I put the symbol for pie, which is
3.14.
delicious.
We should be significantly higher than what my
And
actual capacity
for
ballin'
morals,
is.
I have 1.33 ongoing, of course.
Repeating?
Repeating.
Nice.
All right.
Or
well,
Darcy, my oldest friend.
Here we go. For the one fudge, we'll start with the looks. Hey, Fudgy, I'll give you a 7. What did I get? A 4?
Yeah.
Kid gets a 7. I'll take
Get
a
some
4.
muscles. I'll bump you
Hater.
up to
Yeah.
an 8.
Yeah. All right. All right. Now, on intelligence, I'll also give you an 8 because you read a lot of shit. You're a man who's benefited from what is a Kindle. So
Yeah.
I'd like to say that.
He
That's
does read
cool.
a lot.
Personality, I'll give you an 8 because you know how to fucking have fun, and I think both of us know how to do that, right?
And because you're a total piece of shit.
Yep.
For ballin', you get a big ol' survey says 0. And let's go into the morals category.
Seriously.
Survey says you get 0 too.
Tell us why, though. Tell us why.
You ain't got no morals because I know every day you be
Examples.
tweeting.
Yes, give us an example.
Give us one example that is going to involve anyone.
I don't know. How about teabagging? Is teabagging?
Yeah.
Is there morals
yeah.
behind teabagging?
So a good buddy
What about
passes
the
out
Scary
on a
Lynn
couch.
story? Someone tell the Scary Lynn story.
Oh, Scary Lynn. I was at a party with Ben somewhere up behind Shelburne, like where, the university kids are. And we're hanging out with some Whitehorse boys. I think Fody actually got us over to that party.
Nicholas Fody's
And we're there. I think Simon's there too. And we're like, it's a crazy combination of people. Simon's freestyling in one room. There's all these Whitehorse people in another room. Fody's there. My old buddies from soccer are there from Whitehorse. And Ben spots this chick, gets her in the crosshairs there. And he's like, I'm getting this chick tonight, right? So, like, I'm a supportive bro. I'm going to help him that.
down to
But,
wingman.
I couldn't really do much. So I just noticed that there was one other kid there that was sort of like trying to cut his lawn, as it were, trying to move in on his territory. So, he's like trying to like battle, and like, so I'm like, yeah, you should battle this guy, and I get him to like rap against Simon, who's actually like a dope rapper. Yeah, and the kid just starts to look stupid or whatever. At this point of the story, though, I went next door with, I think, Graham. Pink was there, and we're hanging out playing guitar in a totally different area, and I left you alone with that chick, so I don't really know what happened in there. But Graham and I mean, we got back to the house really late because we were hanging out with these dudes in this other part of the duplex, and we're down the street, and I think you come like running up to us or something.
No, you'd already left by that point.
I don't know what happened, but like I left the party, and you somehow left the party.
No, I went head to that Chinese guy. Like, stayed in the bedroom and tried to go head to head with me, and I wasn't having it. So I pretty much crushed him, and then he left. But the girl wouldn't fuck me.
Scary Lynn?
Yeah, Scary Lynn wouldn't fuck me. So I get her to jerk me off, and it's like the worst hand job ever. And I noticed, like, for one, that her belly button is like huge. It's super big.
The worst hand job ever.
Deep.
Right. You said
come
like
on.
the size of a can of Campbell's soup.
Did you not enjoy yourself
you
then?
cooked a bowl of soup in that belly button. It was gross.
The worst hand job ever.
It was pretty bad.
You would have stopped
So
it.
what did you do?
And then, like, the instant after I came, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here because this is not a good scenario. So I go to the
Beat
bathroom,
a hasty retreat.
and I devise this plan where I'm like, okay, like, I'm just gonna grab my stuff and run away.
Always a plan.
Uh,
So I go into the
Take
go
my
back
intelligence count
to the
down
bathroom.
1 point.
It's
I go
just
back
a
into her,
runaway train
her
of
bedroom,
thought.
and she's like, all right, I'm going to use the bathroom. So I throw on all my clothes as fast as I can, and I run out that door like Carl Lewis. And I,
Chariots of
You
Fire.
started a
100-meter dash.
MySpace or a
yeah, I wrote a blog about it on my old MySpace blog.
under the guys. I wonder if you
About
can
this
still
one
find
event?
these.
I don't think you can find MK Ultra's blog.
MK Ultra was awesome because
You wrote a blog about
yeah.
one
Ben
event?
had a pseudonym of Michael Keaton Ultra.
Yeah, it was of my conquests.
Digital
And they were all
online
hilarious
conquest.
stories.
It was a short blog.
But they were framed as if they were Michael Keaton on a really bad bender, and he hadn't worked in a long time. So it
He's
was
desperate
like
for
it was
work.
it was real, partially like true story, reality stories from Ben's life, mixed with this fiction of Michael Keaton in a fucked up state. And it's called MK Ultra, and it was hilarious. It was online for a while.
I remember the MK Ultra days.
Yeah.
Those were the days, the simpler days.
And
For
that's
some reason,
why
that reminds me of Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat
MK
3.
Ultra.
3 was
The finishing
ultimate.
moves in that game made that shit, man. Like,
I never was
I
big
remember
on the
when we were
Mortal
like- we're
Kombat
like
games.
12.
I didn't
I
like
loved
them.
I was
13.
so into them. Sub-Zero was my boy. I learned all those moves. He was also could be
I used
considered
Scorpion
cheap.
and Raiden.
Scorpion was the ultimate like nemesis to Sub-Zero
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
And Raiden was super cheap too. But
Yeah, he had the very cheap moves, but I thought Scorpions get over.
Why were
here.
there cheap
Yeah.
moves? I mean, they're all
yeah, every
balanced in their
character.
own
That's
way,
the thing.
right?
Every character had a cheap move, and if you learn how to manipulate it, you could win. So you
That's
just
not
have
really
to get
cheap, though,
you'd
right?
have to get the best with your character. And yeah, sometimes you could trip
some
someone
some
to
moves
death.
were easier. You
You
mean
could trip someone to death. You could almost get them in this infinite loop of tripping.
there was always a way out of it, though. I remember that.
Flawless.
I remember sucking at it also.
Yeah,
Sucking balls
was
because I
pretty
never
good.
learned the moves.
I schooled it. I played it to death. I played all of them.
Inevitably, you'd end up with someone who picked Scorpion and was just like, get over here, get over here, get over here. Like,
You.
this sucks. I hate this game.
Yeah, like in the arcade, you get schooled by somebody who was actually like 10 years older than you and had a job, so they weren't just bumming quarters off their parents. That always sucked. Like on the ferry, you're playing.
Virtual reality.
Just ever
Virtual
just-
Fighter 3.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you have to insert more coins to play, that sucks.
My marks have been all fucked around. I think some of them are rational.
The best game on the ferries was either the X-Men one, the old school X-Men game, or the Ninja
Yes.
Turtle one. And they're all 4-player games.
Wolverine game, because that game was fucking
Wolverine had its own
stupid.
game?
Yeah, but it was a console
Okay.
game.
Oh, no. No, I mean the arcade with the 4 joysticks, and you were like Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, or Wolverine. Yeah, that game was
For
the
Genesis
shit.
That
or
was a
what?
great game.
No, it's the
No, it was
arcade
an
game.
arcade game.
It never came out
Yeah,
on
you
console.
kind of Dazzler in
Golden-
that too. That game was
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
dope.
Yeah, you could.
Colossus was in that, right?
Colossus?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was always Colossus when I played.
I was always Nightcrawler or
Yeah,
Wolverine.
and he would like
I always
fucking-
picked Nightcrawler because his like shit like clear.
That
all
was
the
a great
enemies.
game. I swear, man. How many kids spent how many hours in those arcades playing that shit, and would like come in as a group, like 4 players or whatever, right? You're like, yeah, I got Wolverine, you got
Yeah.
so and so. We'd all go in.
Storm was in
Yeah,
it.
like you go down there as a bunch of buddies to play a game, right?
Yeah, or you
and
could do
that's
the Ninja
best
Turtles
kind
that
of
way
video game.
too.
Those guys were so smart.
Man, co-op kills it.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone like in some virtual world for like 59 hours of my time. Like
Yeah, exactly. That's
know?
what's made games like World of Warcraft so big. You know,
Totally.
It's a co-oping
totally.
thing. It's,
There,
yeah.
occasionally a game comes
shared,
along.
it's shared
do.
experience.
I love playing games
Okay.
alone. I don't like the co-op.
Occasionally a game
I
comes
don't
along
like the
for me.
multiplayer
like
games
Skyrim.
as much. I'd rather just play by myself
talking about
without having
Skyrim.
to worry. No, I'm talking about a lot of video
So
games.
yeah, give me some names of games that you would play that way. Like the only
Grand
game.
Theft Auto.
Okay.
I love sandbox games, and I
Okay.
love where I can just build a sandbox by myself.
But how much-
Minecraft is another
How
one
much
which I
more
enjoy.
fun would it be though if you knew Darcy was in that world of Minecraft, or
It would.
I was in
You're
that
right.
world of
You're
Grand
right.
Theft Auto, stealing cars
it's
down
the rest
the
of
street?
people. It's the rest of people.
Yeah.
Playing with your friends is a great idea.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Playing with a majority
that-
of the assholes out there is
That's the best thing, though.
tedious.
That's why I'm saying that
Yeah.
arcade game, when you could all 4 of your friends go down and play together,
Yes.
was the best thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's all about being able to connect your friends and play those games that you love with your friends.
Totally.
And like
That's true. That's
that,
true.
that's why the internet.
I understand that.
That's
I
why the whole
understand
guild
that, yeah.
and it's what's weird is like if you're online in like a guild, like in a WoW kind of thing, they're not really your friends, but you've become friends through the digital realm of WoW. You know, like that's how you interact
Yeah.
with each other.
None of you guys have watched The Guild, eh? The online
I've
Felicia Day.
I have. I've seen.
I would recommend that.
Yeah,
watch The Guild.
Yeah, guys, check that out on YouTube. It's
What's
the,
that?
The Guild. It's a series on
It's a little
YouTube.
online series.
It's hilarious. There's probably what
Is
8,
it like
10 episodes.
Mashima or whatever?
10
No,
episodes per season.
They're
There's
playing
probably
an
about 4
MMORPG.
seasons.
They don't tell you what it is, but it's WoW. pretty
Yeah,
much,
it's
right?
fake. It's fake. It's
Oh,
not.
and it's
not
all
meant
like
to
the
be anything.
interaction.
And
of
like
the people?
guildies from that guild.
They meet
do
each other for the
stories
first
of them
time.
and meet
They
each
meet each
other.
other in reality. It's a local guild that
Oh.
ends up meeting each other for the first
so
time.
is it based on reality or is it
Nope.
Nope.
totally scripted
It's a,
show?
it's a
It's
completely
like
scripted
it's like
show.
Workaholics.
Oh, cool.
I love that show, by the way.
Yeah, Workaholics is a funny ass
It's really
show.
hilarious when they do mushrooms on Workaholics. That's some good
Yeah.
stuff.
In the office late
Yeah,
at night.
yeah, and then they got the IT guys coming in super late to change over the computer systems.
And
They're
they-
like, "We're getting robbed, man."
I think they're
let's-"
like terrorists or something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't give that show the benefit of the doubt. I only started watching it because you guys said it was funny, and I think Ben made me watch a couple episodes, but otherwise I would have never given it a listen.
I
or
actually
watch.
think it was your Ben who showed me that, probably Fudge. And,
I was really impressed with those guys 'cause they're pretty young guys, but they got their shit together.
they're hilarious. Yeah, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
The new
fourth
season, eh? 4 seasons already?
Yeah, they've done 3.
Oh, cool.
They're actually no, they've only done 3 seasons.
Yeah,
How many episodes do they have?
That episode
per
where
season.
what's his name?
12
10 or
So
12.
that's,
yeah.
that's almost the same as
There's
Guild.
so many good episodes. I don't want to get
About
into
10, 12 per season.
nitpicking scenes, but
Don't.
good.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do what Donnie Don't does.